Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Space Coast Daily TV. Juan Rodriguez here, joined with Zach Clark and Gavin Keith, and we are here at Eau Gallie High School, home of the Commodores, as we get ready for this second-round matchup of the FHSAA playoffs. And the Titusville Terriers come into town here tonight as they get ready to face the Commodores, who are undefeated at home. The Terriers come in with a 7-4 overall record on the season. Big-time matchup. These two teams saw each other earlier this year. Eau Gallie came out victorious in a close 7-3 matchup that Zach actually got to cover. And Zach, welcome to the broadcast, and how excited are you for tonight's matchup?
Very excited, Juan, and you know we were in for a treat here tonight in this regional semifinal, and both of these teams have some history this year, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a little bit. And then it was a classic game, came down to the wire, and I anticipate we're going to have an excellent game here tonight. And the loser goes home tonight. And so there's a lot at stake here for both of these teams. And both of these teams do not want tonight to be their last night for the season. And so we're very excited here at Space Coast Daily. And we got a great set of opportunity to be able to broadcast tonight's game on a brisk night and a nice, cool night.
Absolutely. A bit of a cool night here for some football. And of course, you know, quick tale of the take here. Eau Gallie, led by head coach Chris Sand, in his 7th season. He's got a 53-22 overall record, and he's got his Commodores to a 10-1, nearly perfect record. Dropped one game this year, and they're looking to continue that here. They haven't lost a single game at home, but the Titusville Terriers are going to look to try to do something they haven't done in quite some time, and that's make it to the 3rd round of the playoffs. We mentioned earlier, 7-4 overall record. And back when these two teams played earlier this year, I believe it was back in October.
Yes.
It was a 7-3 final score where Eau Gallie came out victorious. And that was a bit of a controversial game, you could say.
It was a very controversial game. There was no offensive touchdown scored in that game. The only touchdown that was scored was on a blocked field goal kick returned for a touchdown. And, you know, me and Orville Susan, the Friday Night Locker Room, had a chance to be able to broadcast that game. And it was a battle of the defenses, and a lot of penalties were committed in that game. And it was actually one of the games that also got head coach John Holmes suspended off a really controversial call that happened towards the end of that game that Titusville feels like cost them the game.
Yeah.
And so there's you know, Titusville's coming into this game. They remember that, and Eau Gallie came out victorious, made the play necessary to be able to win that game. But both of these teams coming into tonight, looking for an opportunity to be able to extend their season, head to a regional final here tonight. And a lot's at stake and a lot of pride for both of these programs. And what can you say about the job that both of these coaches have done with these programs here in the last few years? It has been an amazing turnaround for some of these programs, and especially these two here that we're going to see here tonight.
Absolutely. You talk about consistency with what we've seen from Coach Chris Sands and his team. I mean, you can say what you want, but they're always in the mix, and they're always out here churning out some wins. And he's been doing so for the past few years. And then, of course, you talk about Coach John Holmes, who he's been a part of several staffs. And, of course, he was on that Merritt Island coaching staff years ago that went to the state championship under Coach Hurley Brown. So, you know, he's definitely been around some greatness here, and he's absolutely turned around this Titusville program. And then, of course, you've got the Commodores, a ton of talent on this team this year. You talk about some of the biggest names around the county, if not the state. You talk about LSU 4-star commit Brandon Brown on that defensive line. Outside linebacker Josh Roberts committed to FAU. And then, of course, 4-star athlete Xavier Larice, who's got about every single offer you could name around the country. And then, of course, led by sophomore quarterback Joseph Allen.
Yeah, that's going to be a really intriguing matchup here tonight between these two. And, you know, and in games like this, you know, it usually comes down to, you know, a big play, a turnover, a big special teams play. And, you know, we're also going to be having in for quite a treat here tonight on the special teams when it comes to field goal kicking, because I do think that, you know, in games like this where you got both of these teams are evenly matched, they were evenly matched in the first time they met. And it did come down to a field goal, but it was a blocked field goal, and Eau Gallie took advantage of that opportunity, returned it for a touchdown, and that was the difference in that game. So, you know, tonight, special teams is going to be a very big factor here tonight, I anticipate, and really something to watch. We really have no wind here tonight, so I don't think wind is going to play too much of a factor when it comes to special teams and, you know, which way teams are going to go. So we are blessed here tonight that it is going to be a very even advantage. I guess you could say there is no advantage to going either way. So both of these teams will be pretty even across the board when it comes to the elements.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, these kind of games, I mean, the last thing you want to do is beat yourself. So you want to minimize the penalties, you know, you want to play the most disciplined football you've played all year, because this is win or go home. There's no game after this if you don't come out with a victory. So last thing you want to do is beat yourself. And, you know, we've kind of seen that from both of these teams. Kind of like you mentioned, you know, there's certain games where they're really piling up some penalties. So if they both have cleaned that up to this point, I think we'll have a very exciting matchup regardless.
You know, what's unique about this game, you know, this is an FHSAA playoff game, and so tonight, you know, we are going to we got to make a couple reads here tonight to recognize the FHSAA, and as the band comes in here for the Eau Gallie Commodores here tonight. Tonight's game does start at 7:30, so if you're wondering why hasn't the game started yet, it's, you know, 7 o'clock. That's usually what time these games start. Tonight's game is going to be starting at 7:30 because it is a playoff game in the FHSAA, so the games are going to start at 7:30. But you know, we're very excited here. We want to make sure we thank our title sponsor for tonight's game, Erdman Automotive, for being a great supporter of high school sports here in the county all year long. And with tonight's game being brought to you by Erdman Automotive off 95, they are running some great deals. Off at 95 and 520 in Cocoa, they are proud supporters of Brevard County Athletics. The Erdman Automotive is your payment reduction headquarters, with payments starting as low as $199 a month. And they might even be able to lower your current payment. So visit Erdman Automotive and score a touchdown with a great deal on your next car. And a great team there at Erdman Automotive. They got Mike Erdman, Nissan, Cadillac, Toyota. They got it all down there. And they are running some great deals here as we head into Black Friday, which is next week.
Absolutely. We definitely appreciate all the sponsors, especially Mike Erdman, for everything he does. You know, truly passionate about high school sports here in Brevard County, and we truly appreciate everything they do.
We got another game in the county too, Juan. Talk a little bit about the Cocoa Tigers. They were victorious last week against Lake Placid, 63-0.
Yeah, you know, Cocoa doing Cocoa things, you know, making their way through the playoffs. They do have a game here tonight, and that'll be exciting. You know, you could say that'll be a little bit more challenging, but you know,
Berkeley Prep.
Yeah, Berkeley Prep. You know, they'll be making the trip from, I believe, Tampa. I could be wrong, but I believe they're coming all the ways from Tampa, so that'll be a big-time match. But, you know, the Cocoa Tigers, especially at home, you know, gotta go with them. But looking for that three-peat, something that is highly cherished in all levels of sports.
Another thing, you know, we had 10 teams heading into the playoffs last week, and tonight we only have 3, and 2 of them are playing against each other here tonight. So, you know, after tonight, you know, one of our teams is going to drop off tonight, and that's going to be the loser of this game. But, you know, assuming Cocoa probably wins their game, you know, we're only going to have 2 teams left in Brevard County heading out of the regional semifinal, heading into regional finals next week. So it's I've never seen so many teams in Brevard County lose like that. Some of them are playing each other, but you know, we had a great classic game I got a chance to be at for the Titusville Merritt Island game. The Titusville Merritt Island game was an instant classic. Went into overtime. Titusville was victorious, 17-14. And the Titusville Terriers, you know, really made the plays down the stretch of that game to be able to extend their season and to be here tonight. And it was a great thanks to their special teams. They blocked a field goal with no time. With 7 seconds left in the game, Merritt Island had a chance to be able to come out victorious and to get the walk-off field goal. And Titusville special teams came through in the clutch, blocked that field goal, and sent the game to overtime. And then, obviously, you know, the rest is history. Titusville got a field goal, and then they got the interception there by Tank Harvey, of all people. So very, very inspired performance there by the Titusville Terriers last week, and to become victorious over the Merritt Island Mustangs. And you know, they feel like they got some momentum heading into this game. And when you go up against an Eau Gallie team that got the better end of you last time, you know, the momentum matters, and especially this time of year. And I really think that both of these teams are going to be able to give us a great game here tonight. So let's get a chance to reset the broadcast, Juan.
Well, we're starting. Yep, so here we are at Eau Gallie High School, home of the Commodores, as the Titusville Terriers get ready to take on the home team here for some FHSAA playoff action, second round here, as both teams look to do something they haven't done in years. The Titusville Terriers come in with a 7-4 overall record on the season, and Eau Gallie perfect at home with a 10-1 overall record. Both teams no strangers to each other. They've seen each other earlier this year, I believe back in October, where Titusville fell short 7-3 in what was a very controversial game. So both these two teams, who would have thought they'd be here in the second round of the playoffs to get some redemption?
They are, and both of these teams, that's a big 7-3 game, and it was a no offensive touchdown game. It was penalties and defense were a big part of that game, and it was the Eau Gallie Commodores that utilized a blocked field goal, returned it for a touchdown, and that was the only touchdown scored in that game. And Titusville was coming down to the wire in that game. If you remember back at Titusville High School, they were in the closing minutes. As a matter of fact, only 2 minutes were left in the game, and Titusville was inside the 5-yard line on Eau Gallie, and a fumble, a late fumble, was the difference in that game, and it became a Eau Gallie victory after the turnover. It was a little bit of a controversial fashion because not a lot of people in the field really knew that was a fumble, but to Eau Gallie's credit, they took advantage of the opportunity where a lot of and right then and there, it was the difference in the game. And you know, I think in tonight's game, special teams going to be another big part in this game, because it was the difference for Titusville last week when they took on the Merritt Island Mustangs and they were victorious 17-14 in the regional quarterfinal.
Yeah, you know, in a game like this with so much at stake, I mean, the last thing you want to do is beat yourself, and that's by, you know, drawing penalties, things like that you can totally avoid. And yeah, Zach, like you mentioned, you know, there's no wind here tonight, so you got to figure, you know, we could see a lot of field goals here when teams get in range. So a lot of factors here tonight. A bit chilly compared to other nights here in Florida, but definitely beautiful weather here at Eau Gallie High School. Wearing the red unis here tonight. So, you know, a lot of players to keep an eye out for. Of course, Tank Harvey was player of the game last week. I mean, he's kind of one of those do-it-all kind of players, but he's been seeing a lot of action at quarterback. He's got 6 passing touchdowns through the air, and then, of course, he's got, you know, tons of touchdowns on the ground as well. And then you talk about that matchup where they finished coming up short. That was a game where they were missing their leading rusher in Jamarion Stevens, who's got over 1,000 yards. He's averaging 125 per game, and he'll be here tonight. You know, one of the senior leaders of this team.
A big part of their offense, and was a big part of that victory last week, and really got Titusville going offensively when there wasn't much going on for Titusville. They were down 14-0 at the half against the Merritt Island Mustangs, and the Titusville offense came alive in the second half, got a touchdown thanks to Stevens, and then they tied it up with a Tank Harvey touchdown run on a 4th down and goal from the 10-yard line in the closing minutes that really sent that game to overtime. And, you know, this is a Titusville team that, you know, they have a way of winning, and John Holmes' team, they play very fundamental football. You're not going to see them make too many mistakes offensively. They need to limit penalties, though, in this game. That was something that's been plaguing them in recent weeks. When they took on the Astronaut War Eagles a few weeks ago, there was quite a few penalties in that game. There was also quite a few penalties in that Merritt Island game last week as well. So, and I've had the chance to be able to watch Titusville here these last few weeks, and that is something that's really kind of been their Achilles heel lately. But on the other hand, you have Eau Gallie, who has also had problems with penalties. So both of these teams need to play a clean brand of football here tonight if they want to be victorious, and I really think it's going to be the team that limits a turnover, a key turnover, or makes a big play on special teams could be the difference in a game like this.
Yeah, this is a game that I believe these two teams are very evenly matched, but for different reasons. Of course, you look at Eau Gallie, they've got, some of the top end, talent when you talk about LSU commit, Brandon Brown, Xavier Larice, Josh Roberts, things like that. But then you talk about Titusville, they've got, players as well that they just play extremely hard for their coach, Coach John Holmes. What he's done with this Titusville program, completely turned them around, and he's got them contending year in and year out now in just 3 seasons. Truly remarkable, and I think, this is a team that any given night they have a chance to win.
Tonight's broadcast is our main title sponsor for tonight is Erdman Automotive. We want to make sure that tonight's game is brought to you by Erdman Automotive off I-95 and 520 in Cocoa. Proud supporters of Brevard County Athletics, Erdman Automotive is your payment reduction headquarters, with payments starting as low as $199 a month. They might even lower your current payment. So visit Erdman Automotive and score a touchdown with a great deal on your next car. And we thank you for Erdman Automotive. Obviously, he's a huge supporter of high school sports. He actually presented a $5,000 check to each one of the public schools before the season, and $2,500 was meant for the football program, and then the other $2,500 was for the athletic program, and very generous contributions that Erdman Automotive does in the community, and we thank you for his great support of high school sports all across the county.
No, absolutely. We appreciate all our sponsors, especially Mike Erdman. I mean, it's truly remarkable what he does here in the county, and he's passionate, to say the least, about high school sports here, so it's very cool.
We got another team that's also playing tonight, Juan. The Cocoa Tigers are in action here tonight. The only other Brevard County team here. We are seeing 2 of them here tonight, and the only other one that's in action, the Cocoa Tigers.
Yeah, to think that, the postseason here for high school football started with 10 teams and then real quick went down to 3. But, yeah, the Cocoa Tigers, the defending back-to-back state champions, will be taking on Berkeley Prep, and they make their ways about 2 hours away. So they've got a bit of a trip, but that'll be a decent matchup. You got to go and, figure that the Cocoa Tigers will be favored. I mean, they're defending state champs. They'll be playing at home. But, at this point, second round of the playoffs, anything's possible. But Coach Schneider and his Tigers, I think they'll be in for a good one here tonight as well.
Yeah, the Cocoa Tigers looking very good and looking very solid at this moment, looking like they're trying to get that three-peat. And, can you doubt the Cocoa Tigers at this point?
No,
I don't think you can.
These guys, I mean, they got a machine over there. Coach Schneider's got them, playing, Cocoa Tigers football, like he likes to say so much. And Brady Hart, Javen Boggs, all those guys, I mean, any given Friday.
Absolutely. Well, tonight's game is starting at 7:30, so if you're wondering why this game has not started yet, usually these games start at 7 o'clock. Well, we're in playoff mode right now, so the games actually start at 7:30 here tonight and across Brevard County. So we are ready to have the national anthem, and then we'll pause for that, and then we will also have the coin toss that will be coming up here in just a few moments. I want to make sure we thank also Gavin Keith on production here tonight. We thank you for his excellent contribution in the production department and being able to give you the crystal clear images that you're seeing here tonight. And we really appreciate everything that he does here with Space Coast Daily. And we are about 5 minutes away here from kickoff. So we still got the national anthem that we're going to do here, and then the coin toss, and we'll be underway. But for tonight, Juan, keys to victory here. Let's talk a little bit about some keys to victory here for the Eau Gallie Commodores.
Yeah, I would say, most obvious would just be stick to what got you here, and that's, strong rushing attack, balanced offense, you could say, because they get Joseph Allen going a lot. And, definitely limiting the penalties. I've covered a few games to where there's been so many head-scratching penalties. Not every time, but there's been certain games, and that's just can't be the case here tonight if they want to come out with a win.
When I think for the Titusville Terriers, it's going to be limiting the big play. And, Eau Gallie does have a knack to be able to strike very quickly with their great talent on the outside at wide receiver position. I think for the Titusville Terriers, it's going to be a very disciplined approach. Limiting the big play, limiting penalties is going to be a big part here tonight, and establishing a run game. For the Titusville Terriers to be successful here tonight, keeping that Eau Gallie offense off the field is what made them so successful the first time they played Eau Gallie, and why Eau Gallie was not able to score any touchdowns and put up any points up on the board offensively. And, they got to do that again here tonight. And, with the John Holmes team, that is paramount for any time that they play, but especially here tonight against this Eau Gallie team in this pivotal playoff game in the regional semifinal. The Titusville Terriers are going to have to be very disciplined and be able to come out victorious. And by discipline, I mean limiting those penalties, because it has really cost them and almost cost them a chance to be able to advance last week. If you look back at that game last week, there was they were down 14-7, and they got an unsportsmanlike penalty on top of another penalty that pushed them back to the 30-yard line. First down from the 30-yard line, and you need a touchdown in the closing minutes. That's a very tall order for your team, and they did it. They came through and they overcame that, and to their credit, but that's not going to happen every time. And then Eau Gallie's not going to allow that to happen with the way their defense is. So you need to be a little bit more disciplined when it comes to not putting yourself in a position where points are going to be at a premium here tonight. And to Titusville's credit, they do have a lot of playmakers as well. We're going to pause here for the national anthem, and we'll be right back here in just a sec.
Your national anthem will be performed by the EG Band.
All right, and we are just that much closer to playoff action here, folks. Appreciate you guys for stopping by here to Space Coast Daily TV. Juan Rodriguez, joined by Zach Clark and Gavin Keith. And we are here just moments away from the Eau Gallie Commodores facing off against the Titusville Terriers. Two teams, as we mentioned before, we've been previewing this matchup here. Saw each other back in October, close matchup, and they will have an opportunity to play once again here tonight. As you can see, the captains getting lined up here for Eau Gallie, led by number 10, Josh Roberts, the FAU commit, Emmanuel Small, number 0, Tay Welch, number 1, and the LSU commit, Brandon Brown, number 56, to the right. And then the Titusville Terriers, 7-4 overall record, led by third-year head coach John Holmes, getting his Titusville Terriers ready to take the field.
Yeah, this is going to be, you know, it's always a question of what you do when you win the coin toss in games like this. You want to take the ball first and strike first and set the tone right out of the gate, or do you want to defer and put your defense out there and maybe try to get a quick stop and play the field position game? It's always been one of the things that's always been debated over the years. But you know, I think for the Eau Gallie Commodores, this is a team that's going to want to start pretty quick and make a statement here very early. And I think if Titusville is able to withstand that and be able to play ball control and be able to play the field position game, and that puts them at an advantage as well. So it looks like here we got the coin toss. Beautiful night here in Brevard County for a little chilly for some high school football, but looks like the Eau Gallie Commodores have won the toss. They will defer. And the Titusville Terriers are actually going to receive the opening kickoff here for this game. And like I mentioned, that there is not a whole lot of wind here tonight, so playing on each end of the field probably not going to play too much of a factor in this game. Wind is not too much of a big deal, as the Eau Gallie Commodores get ready to come out, and so will the Titusville Terriers. We got a pretty big officiating crew here in this game. Obviously, a regional semifinal game. There's going to be a lot of officials, so we actually count right now on the field. We have 7 officials for this game.
Yeah, that's a good amount. You know, this is a game that we talked about. This will come down to, you know, limiting mistakes. And the Titusville Terriers over there getting all hyped up and ready to take the field here. But, yeah, you know, this is, you know, you mentioned, you know, Titusville in that Merritt Island game, you know, they were struggling with penalties. The last time these two teams, there was controversial penalties. So, you know, if we see a clean style of football where both teams limit their mistakes, you know, I think we'll be in store for an extremely exciting matchup, which I think it will be either way. You know, Eau Gallie undefeated at home, haven't lost all year here. And I think the Titusville Terriers will definitely be looking to be the first one to do that as the Terriers take the field now. And the Commodores in the red unis here tonight taking the field here at home. And we got a good looking crowd here tonight at Eau Gallie High School. Titusville band and the crowd to the far side, as you can see, made the trip all the way from the north side of the county. And this will be a good one, Zach.
This is going to be a good one, and you know, there's going to be a lot of emotion in this game. Would not be surprised if we see a couple extracurricular activities after the whistle. Both of these teams have, you know each other very well. In the first game that they played, they got pretty chippy, and we expect that's going to be happening here a little bit here tonight. But you know, both of these teams, they know each other very well. They played youth football together for a number of years. Here they are, they're playing for a chance to head to the regional final and extend their season one more week. And so a lot on the line here tonight.
Yeah, you know, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. You know, it's not every day or every season you have an opportunity to make it to the third round of the playoffs. And I guess they had a little bit of a mix-up here. You know, 7 officials, still some errors, but nonetheless, they're getting it all situated here.
Yeah. So got a little confusion on which position, what side of the field they're going to be defending. So now they've got that fixed. That was a little change.
But yeah, you mentioned it a little bit. You know, there's going to be some passion behind this game. You know, a lot of these players and coaches very familiar with each other, like you said, going through the Little League ranks and other stops along the way in high school. So this will be a passionate one. And kickoff is ready. A bit of a squib kick, and Eau Gallie is off to the races to try to get that one. And I think Eau Gallie is signaling that they got it, but we'll see what the official call is. Eau Gallie swears they have it.
Titusville coaches on the sideline say they have it, and they do. Titusville recovers. Whew. That was a little nerve-wracking for Titusville's perspective on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, that was good execution, at least for Eau Gallie. I mean, they were trying to get to that ball quick, and they definitely did, but Titusville able to get that bounce, and they were able to recover the onside kick attempt, you could say. It looked a little bit like a squib, but I think that would be considered an onside.
Like I said, special teams going to play a big factor here tonight, and right there, right on the opening kickoff, Eau Gallie coming out with a little wrinkle and trying to catch Titusville off guard from the opening kickoff.
So big 1st and 10. This is the first possession of the game here. Kickoff just took place, and now we are ready to see what Coach John Holmes and his offense, led by Tank Harvey, the sophomore, do it all QB. In the shotgun, single back look. And a handoff to Stevens. And that Eau Gallie front all over it. Right back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down.
Yeah, obviously when you're running right into the teeth of that Eau Gallie defensive line, you're testing out Brandon Brown in the middle of the field. So that's going to be a tall task here tonight. And you expect probably there's going to be some double teams by the Titusville offensive line, try to open up some holes, because you're going to have to double team Brandon Brown tonight if you want to try to run around him.
Yeah, Brandon Brown, the LSU commit, and Josh Roberts as well, one of the seniors on this defensive line. We'll be hearing a lot from them today. Handoff by Harvey to Stevens again, back-to-back running plays, and that will pretty much go nowhere. He might have went backwards on the play. 3rd down coming up quick. 3rd down situation now for Titusville.
Big 3rd down here for Eau Gallie. They love nothing more than to get a 3 and out. And
getting up a 4th down. If they were able to snap that ball just a split second earlier, they could have had a free play.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a missed opportunity there by. Usually if you see that, if your center is well aware of the situation, you hike the ball right when you see a defender jump right into the neutral zone, and you can be able to get a free play out of that, and to no avail. 3 and out here for the Titusville Terriers.
And a bit of a line drive punt. And Xavier Larice, the return man, breaks off a tackle. He finds some room on the right side, and he's got room. Nice return there for Larice, who made nothing into something. And they'll be taking this ball from about the 39-yard line.
Good field position here for Eau Gallie Commodores, and they get their first possession of this game. Going to be right near close to the 40-yard line, about the 39. So good field position here for the Commodores.
So the 10.5-minute mark here, Joseph Allen, quarterback for the Commodores, takes the field. Got Xavier Larice out there. He's been all over the place. I mean, he pretty much doesn't come off the field. I mean, you'll even see him punting the ball here tonight. You got him in the slot. And a single back look here with Tay Welch in the backfield. 1st and 10, Commodores with it. And Allen hands the ball off to Tay Welch, and he'll pick up a few yards, taken down by number 0. Looks like Tank Harvey, and a flag comes flying in. First penalty of the night. We'll see what the call is.
Looks like there was a little bit of extracurricular activity, and this is probably going to be on Eau Gallie.
Yeah, Titusville celebrating a bit after that penalty, so I got to figure this might be coming back, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a personal foul on Eau Gallie, and that's, it was just getting a little too much right after the play, right as the play was ending, away from the ball, that one of the offensive linemen was taking down one of the linebackers a little bit after the play was over. So now really puts you in a tough position. Now you redo the down, but it is 1st down and about 1st down and 20.
Yeah, that could be a potential drive killer here. We'll see what they do now on 1st and long following the penalty. A handoff to Welch again, pretty much the same play. He's got some blocking, and he'll pick up about 6 on the play. 2nd down.
Gets a little bit of those yards back from the penalty. Gets it to right near where the original line of scrimmage was. And so about 2nd down and 9 coming up here for the Commodores.
And Tay Welch, 700 yards, 8 touchdowns.
That was 3rd down, so now it's 4th down. And what a great job, open field tackle there by Tank Harvey. And had that big interception that ended the game last week against the Merritt Island Mustangs. He got the clincher in the overtime with the interception, and a great open field tackle there. Man, what can you say about his defensive performance here these last few weeks? He is really on his game.
Absolutely. I mean, to be a sophomore and to be asked to be QB and play on defense and play at a high level on both as the punt will go out of bounds. But yeah, I mean, Tank Harvey, I mean, we'll have a look at him again here playing quarterback, but you know, another player that doesn't seem to come off the field, and at just a sophomore, he's a special one.
He does it all. He plays quarterback, and he does it on the defense side. And now the offense for the Titusville Terriers gets their 2nd possession of this game, and a little bit deeper in their own territory right now. But for the Titusville Terriers, you know, what you'd like right here is to be able to get a couple 1st downs and start establishing a little momentum.
So 2nd possession on offense here for the Terriers, 1st and 10. Harvey hands it off. And trying to find any type of room there. He is stopped. Brings up 2nd down. That Eau Gallie defensive front not allowing anything easy up the middle. Trying to force Titusville to throw the ball here. Looks like number 21, Alex Christian, was the ball carrier on that play. And now he's lining up over in the slot. Single back look now. Harvey in the shotgun. Pair of receivers on both sides. Got no safety deep. Oh, and pass is deflected. Number 3, the intended receiver, that was Ralph Smith. And a good deflection there by the Eau Gallie defender. Try to get a number on him real quick. Looks like number 14, and that'll be Tim Hill, the junior defensive back for the Commodores with the pass breakup. And there was no safety back there, so he doesn't make that play. Ralph Smith is possibly taking that for an enormous chunk play.
Well, 3rd down and 10 coming up here for the Titusville Terriers. Not much offensively here in these first couple of possessions. Let's see if they can try to convert a big 3rd down here. Run right up the middle. A very conservative play call there for 3rd down and 10 to run right up the middle. But now the punting unit comes out here for the Titusville Terriers, and a little field position battle going on between these two schools, and nobody getting a 1st down yet.
Yeah, that was a very quick possession there by the Terriers. Definitely not ideal. As you can see, the game plan is to try to get Titusville to throw the ball more. And we got a penalty here, 2nd penalty of the night.
This is going to be possibly on the Eau Gallie. No, we haven't gotten an official call yet from the referee. Okay, not sure what that was. Nonetheless, well, here we go. We'll reset the play clock, and we'll do it over again. Okay, that's bizarre.
Xavier Larice deep for the Commodores. Nice punt. Had Larice backpedaling, and they're going to call that down. Great punt there by Titusville.
Yeah, a great punt, and just lost his footing on the return. And you could see that the field is just so brown in the middle of the field, and a chance to. They've been playing soccer out here at the Eau Gallie fields, and kind of has torn up the field a little bit. I talked to a few representatives of Eau Gallie, and having proper cleats here tonight and making sure that you don't slip in the middle of the field, because there is a lot of dirt in the middle of the field as opposed to grass. You can see that it's pretty brown, but lost his footing there and not much of a turn, but still a decent field position here for the Eau Gallie Commodores coming up on their 2nd possession of this game.
Yeah, you know, it's started off as kind of we predicted, you know, a bit of a defensive battle. Of course, it's so early on that Commodores getting ready for just their second offensive possession of the game. But so far, it's been a battle of defenses, and we'll see who breaks off the big play first. Of course, these two teams, no stranger to each other, played back in October. Commodores came out victorious at 7-3 final score. And here they'll have a chance to see who comes out on top and advance to that third round of the FHSAA playoffs. Joseph Allen in the shotgun, single back look. 3 receivers up at the top, Larice in motion. Allen looking, and he is able to bring that one in. Nice completion, even better catch.
DJ Moldsby.
Yeah, DJ Maltzby, he's been having himself quite the season as well. You know, so many options offensively for Allen and Coach Sands. Second and short coming up. And a handoff up the middle. That'll be good for a Commodores first down. Tay Welch, the ball carrier.
Oh, got our first down of the game.
Yeah, halfway through the first.
for the Eau Gallie Commodores, right near midfield. Let's see if they can maybe catch Titusville a little on their heels.
So 1st and 10 now, after Eau Gallie moved the chains. Allen fakes the handoff, looking deep. He's got Maltzby, and that is right in the breadbasket. Touchdown, Commodores. Eau Gallie strikes first. What a play. Nice ball fake to the running back. Allen finds Maltzby for the easy pitch and catch play. You can tell they've worked on that one a few times.
Absolutely, nothing too fancy there, just a straight go route and just beat his man on the outside edge. And what a great job there by the Eau Gallie Commodores, getting a big play and striking very fast there on that drive, and caught Titusville napping a little bit with a 1 high safety, and just like that, get a touchdown.
Yeah,
and that's no good. So extra point, no good. Circle that one. 6-0. Now with 6:05 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, you know, that could come down to cost them later on. Of course, you know, they could make up for it, but you know, when you're forced to have to go for 2, that's not really ideal. But nonetheless, Eau Gallie gets on the board first, taking a 6-0 lead. And now Titusville with an opportunity to try to respond. They've had 2 really quick 3-and-outs their first 2 possessions. So
had a great job there by DJ Maltzby, getting a big touchdown there, the senior, here in a regional semifinal playoff game. Let's see what Eau Gallie decides to do here if they try to do one of those pooch kicks again. They are.
And that'll be caught by the return man of Titusville. And he'll be taken down at about the 35-yard line. So this will be a big drive. This will be a drive where you'll have to try to at least make Eau Gallie's defense respect you, just based on, you know, they haven't been able to get anything going. And if you give Eau Gallie the ball back quick, we've seen it before. This is a team that is very well, they play very well when momentum and energy is on their side. So the last thing you want to do if you're Titusville right now is give them the ball back very quick in a 3-and-out here. So they got to move the chains a few times if you're Coach John Holmes and Tank Harvey. So 1st and 10, Harvey in the shotgun, hands it off, and he gets taken down quick. Commodores all over it, brings up 2nd down.
Number 6, Caden Davis. A great tackle there in the open field, and brings up 2nd down and 10 here for the Titusville Terriers. And Titusville has just had nothing positive offensively here in the first half of this first quarter. Maybe try to look at, there is a lot of people in the box right now for the Eau Gallie Commodores. They are testing this Titusville passing game right now.
Tank Harvey looking. He's trying to respond with a deep pass of his own and off the mark. Titusville looking for a flag, but nonetheless, that'll bring up a 3rd down now in a situation where Titusville's got to find a way to move those chains and try not to give Eau Gallie the ball back with some momentum.
Would have been a very hard throw and a very hard catch to be able to make. That was TJ Brothers out the outside edge and it was the intended receiver. But you like the move there for Titusville, and maybe try to stretch these defensive backs for Eau Gallie out a little bit, and because there is, within the first 5 yards, you have all 11 players right now, and for the Eau Gallie Commodores, and they're showing pressure here on 3rd down and 10. Gonna have to get this out quick.
Harvey looking, he's got pressure coming. Eau Gallie all over it. And the Eau Gallie defense totally disrupts the play. Sack leads to a 4th down, and what will be another punting situation. 3rd straight punt for Titusville. Terriers unable to get a single 1st down here yet in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, and see, in situations like that where you have pressure and you got 6, 7 guys up on the line and you only got 5 blockers, well, numbers are in favor of Eau Gallie in that situation. Almost blocked there, and it might have been tipped.
And that one will roll out of bounds.
But in those circumstances, what you have to do, you have to be able to throw a screen route or a quick slant in situations to get out of those blitzes. Because Eau Gallie's got a lot of talent on the outside, and they got a great defensive front. So being able, they're going to get pressure on you. And I think for Titusville, starting to get Tank Harvey maybe in a little bit of a rhythm is going to be very important. And maybe a little quick short passes will help keep this Eau Gallie defense a little bit honest. But man, what a job there by Eau Gallie's defense here in the first 3 drives of this game, not even allowing a couple yards.
Yeah, sometimes, especially in the high school level, it comes down to that trench play. And if you're able to win on the line of scrimmage on both sides, it's going to be a long night for your opponent. Tay Welch, the ball carrier, and he'll get tackled forward to make a 1-yard play, turn into about 3 or 4 on that. 2nd down coming up. But yeah, Zach, that defensive front, if Titusville's O-line doesn't begin to tighten up here a bit, I don't see that Commodores front slowing down here tonight.
Waylon Gardner was also in on the tackle for the Titusville Terriers here, coming up 2nd down and 6.
Allen in the shotgun, Welch in the backfield. 3 receivers lined up to the top. Larice in motion. Fakes it to Larice, hands it off to Welch, and he finds a crease on the right side until getting taken down, and that'll bring up a 3rd and short now with 3:50 to go here in the 1st quarter.
Good shoestring tackle there by the Titusville Terriers, and it looked like Welch had a little bit of room out there on that outside edge, but a great tackle by the Terriers brings up 3rd down and about 3, and a good opportunity here for the Terriers.
Yeah, the Terriers defense, they've been asked to go out there a lot against a very high-powered offense. This Eau Gallie team, they've combined for over 50 points their last few matchups. So they've been on a tear offensively. Allen looking, he's got a man open, just off the mark. Looked like he had him. That was good timing, just a little off the mark. That would have been a huge chunk play for the Commodores, but I know Titusville is happy they're able to get their special teams unit on the field now.
Big stand there for the Titusville Terriers defense right there. You're right near midfield. You feel like if they, to be able to get that ball back and get a 3 and out after, giving up good field position for the Eau Gallie Commodores, to be able to stifle that and be able to get the ball back, that's huge for the Terriers. Ball's on the turf. Lucky.
And Larice, the punter, absolutely booted. That one might have been muffed, but Titusville regains possession, and he's able to get a return. There is a down player for Titusville, but he's able to get up. I don't think he's going to – might be feeling that one in the morning, but a lot of contact on that punt. Might have been a little bit of early contact, at least that's what it looked like from here, but nonetheless, no penalty on the play. Xavier Larice with a serious punt.
Okay, there was something on the field that looked like a flag, but no flag on the play. First down and 10 coming up for the Terriers. Let's just see if they can get a first down. You know, that's going to be big for the Terriers, just to get some type of rhythm and give their defense a break. I mean,
yeah,
Titusville's defense has been on the field quite a bit here in this game.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. You know, and that plays into the favor for Eau Gallie. A halfback toss. Stevens tripped up by the turf monster, and he is unable to get what could have been a big play. He's down, which brings up second for the Terriers. And it seems like every time we see the Terriers offense take the field, they're right here lined up at the same spot. So, you know, just based on, you know, how many punts have taken place and stuff, Titusville really needs to find a way to get down the field on this possession here with second down coming up. And a handoff, and once again tripped up by the grass. That'll bring up third down.
Yeah, Titusville's really having a problem with slipping in the middle part of that field. And if you remember, we talked a little bit about this field. The middle part of the field right now is basically dirt. It's going to be very hard to be able to get footing if you don't have the right cleats out there, and they're slipping a lot in the middle part of that field. You get out on the outside edge, there's more grass. But it's about the fourth time we've seen the Terriers slip whenever they try to cut or make a move in the middle of the field, and it just hasn't been playing too well for them.
And we got a timeout called by the Terriers.
I think we got to actually...
Oh, it looks like a penalty.
Yeah.
Penalty, yep. So the Terriers will back.
Got to get it out quick.
Tank Harvey rolls out to his right. Pressure coming for Eau Gallie. He's able to get rid of it. Nearly intercepted right into the hands of the Commodores defender, number 8 for Eau Gallie. Almost came up with a pick, and that would have been huge for the Commodores. But good job by Harvey evading that pressure and getting rid of the ball.
Rayshon Perry had a chance at it, and just a little bit outside stretch of his hands and falls incomplete, but they're still going to get really good field position here as Titusville is backed up on this punt on their own goal line.
Yeah, we've seen him launch a nice punt earlier, so we'll see what he does here. And a very good punt, considering how backed up they were. Xavier Larice picks up the ball off the ground, and he gets a few yards. And that is a good return if you are the Commodores. Ball will be placed at about the 40-yard line. And now Eau Gallie with some ideal field position, already leading by one possession. They're going to try to look to extend that here. And we've talked about, you know, this Titusville defense. They've been asked to, this is, I believe, the 4th offensive possession for the Commodores. So Eau Gallie's defense has been asked to be on the field for quite some time here. And we'll see if they're able to maybe come up with a play, maybe come up with some kind of turnover. But tough task.
They definitely need one of those right now. Eau Gallie taking over on the Titusville 40-yard line. This is excellent field position here. You got to think for Eau Gallie, maybe take a deep shot across the middle of the field. Titusville's really cheating up. There's about 10 guys in the box.
And Larice, the motion man, he gets it on the jet sweep. And he's got some room, but he's taken down. Gained a few on the play. Good tackling there by the Terriers. Xavier Larice, a 4-star prospect, has offers from just about every single school in this country, and just a junior. So expect to see, you know, him making a decision in the near future, but that'll be a prospect and a player to keep an eye out for. I'm sure people are very familiar with this game by now, but if you have it, number 11, Xavier Larice, he's a do-it-all kind of player, and he does not come off the field. But nonetheless, second down and short here. Joseph Allen in the shotgun. Tay Welch in the backfield. Trips to the bottom of the screen here. And Allen will hand it off to Welch, and Titusville all over the play. Good tackling once again. Sticking to the fundamentals. And that looks like Bland with the tackle. The freshman coming up with a big stop there.
Great read there by Bland to get into the backfield, and that is going to be the final play here of the first quarter. So not much offense for the Terriers, but what a performance there by the Eau Gallie defense, and all Eau Gallie here in the first quarter.
Yeah, you know, if you're Titusville, you got to find a way to get that offense rolling. And we'll have a good second quarter coming up.
10 seconds and counting. 9, 8, ignition sequence start. 7, T-minus 6, 5, all engines running. 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Passion, perseverance, dedication. American athletes train for years to become the best. Well, Mike Erdman Toyota has trained for over 30 years right here in Brevard County. One of Brevard County's volume leaders is here and ready to serve you. We sport Toyota's President's Award. We offer 4 years free maintenance, lifetime car washes, and 5 years roadside assistance with every new Mike Erdman Toyota. That's because Mike Erdman is Toyota. Every day, go American athletes.
And of course, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Mike Erdman, for everything he does to help make this broadcast possible and everything he does to help youth football here and high school football across the Space Coast. Third down now for the Commodores. A huge play here coming up. Joseph Allen hands it off. Tate Welch, the ball carrier, he breaks off a few tackles, but the Terriers with the wrap-up tackle brings him down. Looks like number 16 with the tackle. The second quarter of action just begun.
Jamal Curry is the tackler on that. Brings up a fourth down now. What a decision time here for Coach Sands. They're about the 31-yard line. That's to be about a 58-yard field goal. So,
Regardless.
48-yard field goal, sorry.
Yeah, regardless, I agree with the call. Go for it here. Titusville's offense has not shown you anything thus far for you not to go for it. And direct snap, fake handoff by Larice, and he just makes it all happen, making the defenders miss, shedding some tackles, and Larice battling his way to give the Commodores a first down.
Great vision there by Larice, and also some great cutbacks to be able to extend the drive. And it looked like he was going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage and going to be short of a first down, but utilize that great athleticism to stretch and get that first down.
And the Commodores knocking on the door of the Mike Erdman red zone. Tay Welch, the ball carrier, taken down. And he probably got about 2 on the play. Second down coming up. So 10.5 minutes to go here in the half. Commodores lead by 6. And now you got to wonder if Eau Gallie goes and scores a touchdown here, will they try to look to make up those points they left on that extra point attempt. But they got to do that first, so we'll see what they do here. Joseph Allen in the shotgun. Pair of receivers on each side. Larice in the shotgun. In the slot, excuse me. Man in motion. Allen rolls out to his right. He's looking. Doesn't see anything, just throws it away. Makes the right play, and that'll bring up third down.
A very smart move there. When you're rolling outside your pocket, sometimes you'll see quarterbacks throw across their body back into the field of play to try to get some yards or to try to, see an open man. And every coach in the nation will tell you not to do that, and it usually ends up in disaster if you try to do that. So very smart play there for Eau Gallie, and being able to live another down. Third down and 8 coming up, and get a chance to try to get a first down.
Third down here. A big third down for the Titusville defense. And Allen connects for what will be a first down. Move the chains.
Ball's on the turf.
And Titusville signaling that they may have come up with that. We'll see what the call is.
They're going to say his knee was down when the ball came out. And, if you remember back to the first game, there was a very controversial fumble that people didn't think that it was a fumble at first, but then the referees got together and they changed it to a fumble in the first contest that actually turned out to be one of the deciding factors in that game. Didn't turn out well for the Titusville Terriers in that first game, didn't turn out well for the Terriers here in this case.
So first down now for the Commodores in the red zone.
And
the ball is on the ground.
Wow.
And that's about the third time we've seen the ball on the ground for either team here in just the first half.
Man, it's a little cold out. You know, I was just talking about hand warmers being over here near the press box, and you know, it is a little bit colder than normal here in Florida. So I don't know if got to make sure you keep all points of contact on that for the football. Protecting the football here tonight is going to be paramount, and for the Eau Gallie Commodores, 2 plays in a row that the ball's been on the turf, that one would have been a legal fumble.
Second down here for the Commodores. Pair of receivers on each side, single back look. Titusville defense looking to come up with a play. Larice in motion. Allen fakes it. That pressure's coming, and they come up with a sack. Terriers come up with a must-needed sack there. Number 33 comes up with it, and that is a huge play.
Waylon Gardner having himself a pretty good game so far. Gets a sack now, and what a great job there being able to wrap up the quarterback, and now creates a very long third down and about 18.
Yeah, if you're Titusville, this is definitely more ideal now. A third and long situation. It's not third and goal. They still need a first down.
And a run up the middle. Wow.
And the handoff to Welch will get him a few yards. And it looks like the kicking unit will come out, and that'll just line up, you know, better situation for the kicker for Eau Gallie.
Now this isn't a gimme. Titusville's got a really good special teams, and they've blocked a few kicks here this year. So this is, you're seeing all the pressures coming on the right side of that line here for the Terriers. They're going to try to block this.
And the kicker, senior Chase Karpowicz, with the field goal attempt. And a little early movement there by Titusville. A little too antsy there.
Got a little bit, trying to get a little bit of an early head start there for the Terriers. So it's only going to be 5 yards. It's still going to be 4th down. Now, the question here for Coach Sands is, do you maybe try to go for the touchdown as opposed to the field goal? I mean, it's 4th down and about 4.
Yeah, you know, these decisions, they're tough. And, you know, if you ask me, I'm almost going for it here after that penalty. You know, these decisions could come back to haunt you. But nonetheless, field goal attempt for Karpowicz is up and good.
Wow.
Giving Eau Gallie a 9-0 lead here in the second round of the FHSAA playoffs.
A big field goal there stretches this game to a 2-possession lead here for the Eau Gallie Commodores. And, you know, on this next possession for the Titusville Terriers, haven't shown much life here offensively, but it is 7:01 to go here in the second quarter. All Eau Gallie thus far. And a good drive there for the Commodores.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the name of the game is add more points and limit the points, and that's exactly what Eau Gallie is doing right now. It might not be the prettiest thing right now, but they're doing what is needed to be done. And now if you're Titusville, you got to get it going. I mean, there's still plenty of football to go, but you're talking about a winner-go-home situation. You only have 2.5 quarters left of football. And a bit of a squib kick once again. And he drops it. Titusville Terriers receiver drops the ball. And I think he was able to get right back on it.
Wow.
Man, that would have been costly.
Yeah, huge sigh of relief for the Titusville sideline, as that would have been disaster, considering how this game has been going so far. But I will remind people that, you know, this is how Titusville gets out of the gate a little bit slow to start games. It's probably one of the things that head coach John Holmes would like to improve upon his team, is to get out to better starts. Last week, you know, as I mentioned before, the Merritt Island Mustangs were come out to a 14-0 lead at halftime. And then it was a talk that head coach John Holmes didn't want to disclose what was said at halftime, but they came back and scored 2 touchdowns in the second half, took it to overtime, and came out with the victory. But this Titusville team has a knack for getting off to a little bit of a slow start here offensively. And then in a case like tonight, 6:58 to go here in the second quarter, it seems like this is par for the course for Titusville offensively.
Yeah, you know, you see it all the time. Some teams, it's a tale of two halves. You know, you can have a certain type of game in the first half, but then make those adjustments and come out in the second half and blow a team out. You just never know. And the handoff up the middle for the Terriers gets stopped.
There's just nothing in the interior of that defensive line in the trenches that is going positively for Titusville. They're just getting blown up on the defensive line.
Well, it's really interesting. I know, you know, opening up, trying to establish the run will open up other plays for your offense. But when you're not able to establish run, especially when you're running right at, you know, a 4-star LSU commit and then you got an FAU commit right next to him in Josh Roberts, I mean, you're asking for a lot.
Yeah.
And Take Harvey with the play action pass. And he's taken down hard. Number 1, the receiver, and Emmanuel Small, a player that Coach Chris Sands is very high on, calling him one of the best players on this team, one of the leaders. Comes up with a big-time tackle with 6 minutes to go here in the half. 3rd down coming up.
Not much offensively, positively is happening right now. And I just think for Titusville to get something going, you know, Eau Gallie's just challenging you right now to be able to throw it deep. And, you know, Titusville does have some playmakers on the outside, but he's not, you know, you don't have hardly any time back in the pocket to be able to throw the ball. It makes it very challenging. You're basically throwing up a prayer at that point, because here comes Eau Gallie once again with a lot of pressure.
And Tank Harvey with a laser right into the chest of the Eau Gallie defender. I mean, that one was completely off the mark. Had the zip, but no accuracy with that one. And that is a tough 3-and-out for the Terriers. I mean, you got to give credit to that D-line. The D-line is really making it tough for both the run game and the pass game.
Rayshawn Perry almost had an interception. He almost had an interception earlier in this game as well. So that's 2 that have been right on his fingertips. But here, 4th down now, and punting unit comes out for the Terriers.
Xavier Larice, the return man, and he slips up from the turf monster. We've got some flags. Man, that...
Yeah, it's going to be an illegal block in the back, I think, on Eau Gallie. So this is going to negate the great field position they were going to get and kind of push them back about 10 yards.
So the winner of this game, I believe, will go on to play the winner of Dunellen and Bishop Moore. And the penalty was on the return team.
That was a blindside block, so that's a personal foul penalty. That's 15 yards.
Tough break.
Second personal foul on Eau Gallie here in this first half.
So 1st and 10, the penalty yards were tacked on. So now they will take this one from about the 35-yard line. Allen with it, hands it off. And Titusville all over it. Titusville's defense, you know, led by defensive coordinator Pat Lusk, you could say legend here on the Space Coast. He's been around for a very long time. He's coached some of the best defenses around. And, you know, a lot of those adjustments that we've seen throughout the season come from, you know, the defensive changes that we've seen from Pat Lusk. And you got to figure, if you want to try to limit this high-powered offense from Eau Gallie, the adjustments will have to be made. So 2nd down now for Eau Gallie. Titusville rushing only 3. Allen with some time. He's looking deep. Receiver had his man beat, but off his fingertips. He had him beat. Just unable to connect, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Jay Ladson was the intended receiver there. Almost made a spectacular catch. Would have been a hard catch, but as they say, if it touches your hands, you should catch it. And 3rd down and 8 coming up here for Eau Gallie. Late substitution. Number 18, Darren Reed checks into the game.
Eau Gallie looking like they might be rushing 3 again. Man in motion, connects with his receiver on the quick slant. What a laser there by Allen, and that'll move the chains for Eau Gallie. You know, that's the money down, 3rd down, and Allen easily converting there. Nice pitch and catch there, drawn up by Coach Sands.
DJ Molesby, the receiver on that, a great pitch and catch there, and he's had a heck of a game so far. Got a touchdown catch and got a key 1st down there for the Eau Gallie Commodores. Extends this drive.
Yeah, Molesby has had a phenomenal season. You know, really contributing to this 10-1 season we've seen from Eau Gallie. Handoff there, and he'll get enough for about 5 or 6 on the play, making this a 2nd and manageable. 3:49 to go in the half. And I believe Titusville received the ball, so that'll mean the Commodores will get things going in the 3rd quarter.
Now this game's moving very quick right now. You know, we're here at 3 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter, and yeah, both of these teams just keep punching back and forth. But right now, in favor of the Eau Gallie Commodores, a good opportunity here for them towards the end of this quarter.
2nd down. Allen hands it off. A little misdirection on the run. Finds some room on the right side. Regains his balance. Runs over a defender. And my goodness, what a run there to move the chains there. And we've got an injured Terrier on the field.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Injury on the field for the Terriers.
Boy, this would not be good.
Yeah, it looks like number 0, Tank Harvey.
Yeah.
Berkeley Prep, 0.
Head coach John Holmes comes out to check on his last week's player of the game and hope send Titusville Terriers to the next round against the Merritt Mustangs in overtime. And walking underneath his own power, so that's a very positive sign.
Junior Bears Southcare, Paragon Pest Solutions, and Sunset Slush of the R.
This is a big drive here for Eau Gallie, because if you think about, you know, how the game began, Eau Gallie is going to get the ball to begin the 2nd half after they deferred. So a good opportunity here with 3 minutes to go here in this 1st half. You almost have an opportunity to have back-to-back possessions if you play this right. And if you're able to get some points here, even better.
Yeah, this would be huge, considering they'll be receiving the ball to get things started in the 2nd half. So if Eau Gallie is able to get some points here, that would be very ideal. But Titusville needs to try to get the ball back before half. And Allen goes deep, a little bit off with the timing there.
Yeah, I think there was a little miscommunication on that route, because the receiver was running an inside route, and it looked like that throw was positioned for an outside route, and maybe a little confusion on that play, as that was heading towards the back corner of the end zone. But luckily for the Eau Gallie Commodores, it fell harmlessly to the ground. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
So 2nd down now for Commodores, 2.5 minutes to go in the half. Hands it off. He's got some room. And that'll be short of the 1st down, it looks like. That was Emmanuel Small, I believe, ball carrier. And that'll definitely move the chains. 1st and 10 now for the Commodores. And they'll just keep winding this clock down before half. They could leave Titusville with possibly no time left in the half if they play this right.
Yeah, and if Titusville wants to, you know, I think this is going to be very key for them to be able to at least put the clamps down on this drive and at least hold them to a field goal in this position, because give up a touchdown here with the possibility of going down maybe 3 scores with the 2-point conversion, that'd be disaster.
Right. And it looks like a touchdown, Commodores.
Wow.
They extend their lead now.
Man.
And what a play. And Emmanuel Small, one of the leaders of this Commodores team, Coach Chris Sands, can't say enough good things about him. Recently committed to Wagner. He finds himself in the end zone here tonight, making this a 15-0 ball game. And we got a timeout Eau Gallie before the extra point attempt.
Well, that's probably going to go for their two-point conversion here, you would think. Maybe if you're Eau Gallie's perspective, to try to extend this to a three-possession lead after.
Yeah, you know, that's huge. That touchdown there is massive, considering Eau Gallie will get the ball the second half. And that's it's going to be tough for Titusville. They're going to have to make some big-time adjustments at halftime, defensively, offensively. It'll be a tall task. It's not impossible. I mean, plenty of football left. I'm talking about a whole second half of action, but it will not be easy by any means. Minute 50 to go here. Timeout called by Eau Gallie as they talk things over. Score is 15-0.
Okay, they're going to go for two here.
And they will go for two here. Larice. The fake to Larice will be a handoff to Welch instead, and he'll punch that one in to make up for the points they left earlier on the board, making this a 17-0 lead in a game that last time these two teams played was a 7-3 battle that came down to the wire. And this one is looking a little bit differently. We got an injured player on the field. And, you know, they say it's hard to beat a team twice. But Eau Gallie is starting to make that narrative look a little differently here with a 17-0 lead before the half.
No, and for Titusville's perspective, as Latavius Welch gets up after he was injured on that two-point conversion, gets up underneath his own power, so good to see. But 150 to go here for the Titusville Terriers. I mean, not good when you don't even have, I don't even think 5 total yards here tonight. And it has just been hard sledding for the Titusville Terrier offense. But a huge credit to the Eau Gallie defense. They've really created a lot of issues for the Terriers up front on the offensive line. And if you're Titusville, got to be wary of a pooch kick here. You know, Eau Gallie is not going to let off the throttle at all. Pooch kick over here to the side. Picked up there right about the 10-yard line. A good return, and he's going to run over to the middle of the field. They're going to say his knee was down, but not much of a return there. And good coverage there for the Eau Gallie Commodores, and Titusville Terriers are going to take over at the 20-yard line. Well, you got to try to find something that works, and obviously what you've been doing so far has not really been working. So maybe look for Titusville to try to air it out with some short passes on the outside edge, and maybe try to utilize some perimeter blocking, and because they have not done a whole lot of quick passes off to the side. They've tried throwing the little slants across the middle of the field, have not been successful, but the running, they have not been able to open any lanes whatsoever.
Yeah, that's been the story here for Titusville as they try to get the pass game going here. Harvey making some moves with his legs, and my goodness, what a hit. One of the bigger hits you'll see here tonight, folks.
Rayshawn Perry. Big tackle there. Clock stopped, and it's going to be timeout Titusville. trying to manufacture some positive yards, something that goes right here tonight. And not much has gone right offensively. And, you know, you think maybe you could try to rely upon Tank Harvey to maybe scramble around, try to get some yards, and maybe try to, you know, find the lane. But the athleticism of this Eau Gallie defense is all off the charts. And, you know, for Eau Gallie right now, you may even have a chance to be able to get another possession here if you know how this drive goes. Don't be surprised, depending on what happens on this drive, if Eau Gallie calls timeout, maybe try to add some more points. With 1:28 to go here in the second quarter, still a lot of time left to be able to try to manufacture some points.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty of time. Luckily for Titusville, with the way that last drive was going, they were able to at least get a minute and a half left before they hit the halftime break. But as you mentioned, I think we may have seen one first down from Titusville, another hard hit there. And that front from Eau Gallie is not letting them do much. Third down coming up, and we got a timeout by Eau Gallie. And the way things are going, I mean, a minute 21. If Titusville has to punt here soon, I mean, you leave about a minute left for Eau Gallie to try to go get some more points.
Yeah, I mean, I get what head coach John Holmes was trying to do on that first timeout that he called, but not much has been working offensively, and you almost just want to get to half and just kind of have that talk with John Holmes that maybe whatever he said last week against Meriden really worked. It turned out to really light a fire under the team. They played really well in the second half. And just get to the halftime and try to reset the game and try to play a game of two halves and try to turn it around and find something that works offensively. But it's just there's been nothing offensively here for Titusville. And third down and long, third down and 7 here for Titusville. You got to be don't want to make a mistake here. Maybe look here on the bottom side of your screen. You might have maybe a little bit of a matchup advantage here for the Titusville Terriers. That's number 5 on the bottom, TJ Brothers. They tried going to him earlier, playing man-on-man.
And Harvey with a quick slant. He finds number 5. Great connection, and he will not be denied. He is going all the way, and that'll be a touchdown, Terriers. My goodness. Turn on the boosters. Number 5 for the Terriers. That's TJ Brothers. And he'll take that one to the races, and we've got a flag on the field. But I think the touchdown will stand. It might have been a little bit after the play, and they'll wave that off.
Yeah.
Touchdown, Titusville will stand. Harvey to Brothers for 6. Huge play.
Great job there by Tank Harvey, seeing the matchup that he had on the bottom side of his screen and be able to do just a little slant route across the middle. And it was just one-on-one, beat his man, and just like that, what a huge response here for the Titusville Terriers. That's big for the psyche of this team as they get ready to head into half. But still a lot of time left. 1:11 to go. Eau Gallie could still try to get some points, but here, pending the extra point, let's see what happens here.
And the extra point attempt is up and good, making this a 17-7 game. And Titusville with some life here before the halftime break, exactly what they needed. You know, going into half with some points on the board rather than 0 will do a lot for your team. And that is exactly what they needed because it was getting a little bit out of hand. Now we've got ourselves a 2-possession game with 1:11 to go in the second quarter.
So I'll stand corrected on John Holmes, you know. Great decision.
Yeah.
I'm calling that timeout. Save some time there and be able to give his offense a chance to be able to get some points up on the board. And there you go. Yeah, that's sometimes what you need just to kind of break the ice a little bit because it seemed like Titusville was just not much was working. That was the best play of the night, and it's a scoring play with 1 minute to go in the game in the half.
Yeah, I mean an absolute dot thrown by Harvey to find Brothers, and it was just in stride. And, I mean, Brothers kicked it in gear quick. I mean, he was off to the races. having a bit of some kicking difficulties here with 1:11 to go in the half.
Kicking off for the Titusville Terriers. Dean Roberts.
And they'll boot this one away. Nice kick into the hands of, looks like Larice. And it is. He'll find some room on the right side. Cuts up the middle. He's got a lot of room now. And Xavier Larice has nothing but green grass in front of him. Kick return, Eau Gallie, Xavier Larice. Touchdown, Commodores.
Huge.
And we got another flag come flying in, some extracurricular, but I think the touchdown will absolutely stand. And just when Titusville gets in the game to make this a two-possession game, Eau Gallie responds right back.
Huge special teams play there for the Eau Gallie Commodores, and a huge, couldn't script a better response for the Commodores. And it, you know, just as Titusville was starting to feel real good, feel like they're climbing back in and get some momentum, Eau Gallie comes back and squashes that with a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
You know, not for nothing, you would think in the scouting report it would say not to kick to Xavier Larice. I mean, they kicked it right to him, and I mean, he made him pay. There's a reason he's a 4-star, and every recruit is looking at him. I mean, what a return.
Yeah.
And now we've got an extra point attempt coming up for the Commodores.
And you know, it was Xavier Larice who scored the blocked field goal kick in the first matchup, returned it for a touchdown, and kind of the nightmare that Titusville had of that game reappears here in this game as Larice running down the field. But he is quite a talent, and you can just see the blazing speed and great vision that he has. He's such a tremendous asset to have out there on the field, especially on special teams. And what a great response here for the Commodores, but still a lot of time left, 57 seconds left. And, you know, for Titusville's perspective, they would love nothing more than try to get some points up here before the end of the half and try to cut this back down to a two-possession lead going into the half. And you have one of the best kickers in Brevard County in Dean Roberts.
Yeah, you got to just get into field goal range here. You got 57 seconds left. That's plenty of time to make some noise here. Of course, if you get a decent little return here, that'll definitely help. But, you know, you got to have quick memory. You got to be quick to forget that return that just took place if you're Titusville, and try to use some of that momentum you had from that touchdown that you had, if you can remember it, and try to have that here.
It's going to be interesting because right now Jamarian Stevens is playing up right now from his normal position. He's stationed at about the 35-yard line. That's where Eau Gallie has usually, well, we're going to move this after the penalty. So Eau Gallie is going to be kicking this from the 25-yard line. Titusville's going to get great field position here, but you got Stevens, who is right near midfield right now in the position where Eau Gallie's been kicking this, and that's an adjustment that they've made. And let's see if Eau Gallie tries to kick there again, because Stevens shown the ability to break out games as well with his great athleticism for the Terriers. They're going to kick it deep. Wow, nice kick.
Very good kick there by Karpowicz. Bounces into the hands of Stevenson. He's going to try to make a move. He's got some space on the right side, and he is taken down short of the 25-yard line. And they'll have about 48 seconds left in the half. And there'll have to be some adjustments made, some big-time adjustments. And really, it comes down to the small things. You know, you talk about special teams, you know, kicking it to Xavier Larice, and, you know, giving up some big-time plays earlier on in the half. You know, they've got to come out with a different, some different looks. You know, they're getting the pass game going on offense, which is a good thing because the run game was just not doing much, which, of course, you got to try to find that balance. But Tank Harvey is starting to let that arm go, and it's been working out. So 48 seconds left here in the second quarter. Harvey in the shotgun. And he's going to scramble to his right, evading some pressure, and he will be tackled out of bounds. Second down coming up.
Yeah, if you're head coach John Holmes, you're yelling at Tank Harvey to throw that ball away. You know, save time and save the yardage. Don't run out of bounds, 7 yards beyond the original line of scrimmage and put yourself in second down and 17. That's just uncharacteristic of Tank Harvey to miss out on an opportunity like that. But 41 seconds to go. Second down and 17.
So Harvey with it. Here comes the pressure. He evades it. And he's looking, keeping his eyes downfield. What a grab and a move. Wow. What a play and move immediately after that catch. That's Ralph Smith. And he's been doing it all here tonight on offense. The 6'3" senior receiver putting on the moves. I mean, he turned around and put his foot in the dirt and made that defender miss. Incredible play there, and what a play there by Harvey to evade that pressure, keep his eyes downfield, and deliver that ball.
Sets you up already pretty much. No, you're pretty close to field goal range right about now. You would like to try to get maybe a few more yards, maybe about 10 more yards to make it a little bit more comfortable for Dean Roberts, but right now, if they had to kick it, you're right on his fringe level where he can probably try to attempt this. There is no wind here tonight, but man, what an effort there by Tank Harvey to be able to, scramble outside the pocket, elude a blitzing defender, and buy yourself enough time, and then just launch the ball up and let your playmakers go make plays. And that's exactly what Ralph Smith did, and utilized his big frame and just like that, in a good position here. You probably could take a couple shots to the end zone if you'd like, if you're Titusville, with 25 seconds. Clock does stop after first downs until the ready to play and until the chains are moved. So got
Harvey with it, but here comes a serious pressure. He's taken down hard. What a play there by the Eau Gallie defense. Not making it easy. It looks like Emmanuel Small. Who else? And the Mr. Do-It-All. I mean, he's another one of these players that just seems to never come off the field, and for good reason. I mean, this guy is always near the ball.
Stops the clock with 19 seconds. Titusville calls a timeout, and that's their final timeout of the half. So now you're behind the sticks, and you don't have any timeouts. You're going to have to get out of bounds, and now you're out of field goal range. So it's going to be kind of a delicate situation here for Titusville. You're going to have to get out of bounds because you want to try to at least give Dean Roberts a chance to be able to kick a field goal and cut this to a two-possession lead before half. He's got a great leg, and there's not much wind here tonight, so you probably would be able to attempt a very long field goal here, but obviously you're well without hitting outside his range now.
Yeah, that's a tough play there. Getting you right out of field goal range. 19 seconds to go here in the half. Harvey with it. He drops back, takes a shot deep. Oh, and it looked like it was good from here, but off the mark, unable to connect. And this will probably be one of the, 13 seconds left. They've got enough time for about 2 more plays, but this will bring up third down.
2 more plays, and you can't be tackled.
Yeah.
In front of the first down marker, otherwise time will just run out. You're not going to be able to rush your field goal unit out if you don't get the first down. Probably going to see him just take a couple shots to the end zone.
So 3rd and long. The Terriers have quite the trip to try to convert here on first down. You got to figure they're looking for 6 here, and Harvey with a shot deep. And the man gets in front of the DB, and he's got him. Connect.
Oh, there's clock stop with 4 seconds right now, so they're going to have to rush up to the line here real fast if they want to try to get this off, because that clock's going to start right when the ball is set.
And the defense has to be onside or they can get the defense offside. Titusville's got to hike that ball.
The penalty yards are still going to stand. A false start.
Man, TJ Brothers and Ralph Smith are
time, and now you can decide what to do. Oh,
and
well, they're actually
like,
running the clock.
Man, that's tough.
Titusville was not ready for that.
Tough, 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 man. They had about 10 more seconds on that clock. And that'll take us to the halftime break.
Wow, okay.
A controversial finale to that second quarter. Big time play. Not enough time for the Terriers. And that'll take us to the half with a 24-7 score. All Eau Gallie thus far. But Titusville, they're not going anywhere. Eau Gallie will receive the ball to get things started in the second half.
Total missed opportunity there for Titusville. I mean, they just got to be better in situations like that. That's points left out there on the field in the end of the half. And
yeah,
you're down 17 points now. You're down 3 possessions. The good thing for Titusville is they've shown some life on it offensively. And I think
they're not going away.
Right. And you're going to be able to go into the second half and you're going to be able to make some adjustments and say what worked and what didn't work. Well, for the first, 28 minutes, or actually the first be 12 minutes for the first 22 minutes, didn't really find much offensive success. And throwing the ball deep and stretching and making Eau Gallie maybe play some too high safeties and keep it honest on the back end is going to be something that maybe the Titusville Terriers are going to want to do to be able to find some offensive success, because the run game has not been there whatsoever. I mean, they have not been able to do anything offensively when on the ground. And for the Eau Gallie Commodores, what can you say about their performance? 24-7, and the defense showing a lot of lights out play on the defense side, but also got some room for improvement, as you saw at the end of that second quarter.
Yeah, Eau Gallie, I mean, couldn't ask for a better half, really. I mean, obviously you could, but 24 points, getting a special teams touchdown, the defense holding Titusville to just 7, and then, Joseph Allen and the rest of the crew just doing their thing. Quite the half for Eau Gallie, but you mentioned earlier, Titusville's kind of known for having not the greatest starts, but, especially in this sport, it's about how you finish. And Pat Lusk, John Holmes, all those guys, they're adjusting, and, if you're Titusville, you definitely have to try to limit the amount of time Eau Gallie has the ball on offense, because you want to try to get as many offensive possessions for Tank Harvey, Smith, Brothers, and Stevens, all these guys that are heating up right now. Definitely want to try to get them as many offensive possessions if you want to have a chance at narrowing this deficit.
Yeah, it's going to be big, with Eau Gallie getting the ball to begin the second half. It's going to be huge for Titusville to be able to try to get a 3 and out, or at least halt that drive, try to get the ball back towards your offense, because you did show some positive plays and some positive things that you can take heading into the second half with some deep shots down the field. Your wide receivers look like they're making plays out there, and that's a good sign.
Yeah.
If you're going to need to get some points here in the second half, down 17 points, you're going to have some big plays, and you're going to have some big stops. And that's something to look for. And I also look for, they have relatively played a pretty clean game, both teams for that matter. Eau Gallie had a couple personal foul penalties in that first half, which was about the only big penalties that has been happening in this game. A couple pre-snap penalties here and there, but relatively a pretty clean game from both teams. And that's a good sign. That's an improvement from earlier this year, where there was just a flag every other play. It was not a great game to really watch in a lot of respects, because when you have penalties like that, it just affects the flow of the game, affects the rhythm of the offenses, and we should be in for quite a second half, even though down 24-7 or up 24-7, however you look at it. This is still a game.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, and as we mentioned, the more offensive possessions Titusville can get in the second half, it's only 3 possessions. So if you're able to come up with a quick score in that third quarter, I mean, they're right back in it.
Yep, game
on.
Just how big is that huge kickoff return for a touchdown by Xavier Larice? I mean, you felt like the momentum turned over to Titusville's side, and just to respond right on the kickoff. And it was a nice kick there by Roberts. Kicked it real deep, kicked it to the 1 yard line, but so many times you see, kickoff coverage units, when the ball's kicked deep like that, it really creates your players in space. And when you got a player like Xavier Larice, who is really good in one-on-one matchups and man-to-man, he can burn you pretty quickly, as Titusville just saw there.
Yeah, definitely. And, to keep up with some of the scorers, Cocoa, the other game happening here on the Space Coast, they're up 30-12 against Berkeley Prep in the third quarter. So that half, they're into the second half there. And the winner of this game will play the winner of Bishop Moore and Dunellen. So we'll try to get some score updates on that. But whoever wins will have a pretty tough task. Dunellen, Bishop Moore, of course, their athletic programs always in the mix.
Yeah, it's this nice brisk night here in Florida. A lot of people, a lot of Floridians here have got some jackets out and even a few stocking caps.
Yeah, no, for Floridians,
a little bit of gloves.
It's
too.
cold.
I've seen a couple gloves out here too, so it's a little cold. But what a beautiful night here for football, and late November. We're very excited. We want to make sure we also thank our title sponsor here, Erdman Automotive, for their great support of local high school sports here throughout the community all year long, and supporting all sports. And Eastern Florida State College, All Points, and Health First for all their great support that they give us year after year. And we thank them for allowing us to do this. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come right back, we'll take another look here at the second half as the Eau Gallie Commodores lead 24-7 over the Titusville Terriers here in the regional semifinal game here in Melbourne.
It's the most anticipated sale of the year. The Toyota-thon is going on. Mike Erdman Toyota. Get ready to save and drive home a new Camry or RAV4 with 0% APR. Or how about payments as low as $199 a month on your new Corolla? Want to get rugged? Drive an all-new 24 Tacoma, $299 a month. See, that's because Mike Erdman is Toyota. Every day.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
10 seconds and counting. 9, 8, ignition sequence start. 7, T-minus 6, 5, all engines running. 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Passion, perseverance, dedication. American athletes train for years to become the best. Well, Mike Erdman Toyota has trained for over 30 years right here in Brevard County. One of Brevard County's volume leaders is here and ready to serve you. We sport Toyota's President's Award. We offer 4 years free maintenance, lifetime car washes, and 5 years roadside assistance with every new Mike Erdman Toyota. That's because Mike Erdman is Toyota. Every day, go American athletes.
It's the most anticipated sale of the year. The Toyota-thon is going on. Mike Erdman Toyota. Get ready to save and drive home a new Camry or RAV4 with 0% APR. Or how about payments as low as $199 a month on your new Corolla? Want to get rugged? Drive an all-new 24 Tacoma, $299 a month. See, that's because Mike Erdman is Toyota. Every day.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Passion, perseverance, dedication. American athletes train for years to become the best. Well, Mike Urban Toyota has trained for over 30 years right here in Brevard County. One of Brevard County's volume leaders is here and ready to serve you. We sport Toyota's President's Award. We offer 4 years free maintenance, lifetime car washes, and 5 years roadside assistance with every new Mike Urban Toyota. That's because Mike Urban is Toyota. Every day, go American athletes.
10 seconds and counting. 9, 8, ignition sequence start. 7, T-minus 6, 5, all engines running. 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
It's the most anticipated sale of the year. The Toyotathon is going on. Mike Urban Toyota. Get ready to save and drive home a new Camry or RAV4 with 0% APR. Or how about payments as low as $199 a month on your new Corolla? Want to get rugged? Drive an all-new 24 Tacoma, $299 a month. See, that's because Mike Urban is Toyota. Every day.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
And with about 4 minutes left here in the halftime break, Eau Gallie leading 24-7 in what was a very exciting first half. A lot of passion, a lot of emotion, and a lot of back and forth. The score doesn't say so, but it's been a lot closer than it seems.
Yeah, DJ Mouldsby having a heck of a game here for Eau Gallie so far. Probably, you got to say, if you had to point to anybody who's having player of the game, probably them. Also, this defensive front for Eau Gallie, just the whole entire unit in of itself has really disrupted the Titusville. Been giving the Terriers fits in the run game and even getting in pass protection as well. So, you know, when you look at the keys to the second, the deep throws that Titusville has been that had some success and towards the end of that first quarter. So you've got to think that one of the things that you want to be able to do is just be able to, withstand and be able to hold on to a 3-possession lead. You do get the ball at the second half. You have a chance to be able to extend your lead a little bit. You'd love to maybe march down the field on a 5-6-minute drive, put some points up on the board, and that'll be just about what Eau Gallie would want to order. And for the Titusville Terriers right now, you'd love nothing more than to just get a 3 and out here to begin this second half, come out of the gate pretty hot, and get good field position and get some points up on the board and cut into this lead and make it 2 possession, and then it's a game. You know, you got a great field goal kicker. You know, he's warming up right now, if you could see on the field, and he's kicking from the, I believe that's a 33-yard line, so that's a 50-yard field goal, and he's got some more room too, so he's got a leg, and got to get him in position. And you know, towards the end of that second half, we saw the Titusville Terriers that were in a position of a field goal, and then they took a sack, and then they had to call a timeout, and then, you know, had to rely. I think maybe a trick play here or there might happen in this game still for Titusville to try to ignite the team. And special teams, I'll keep saying it, you know, can play a big factor in this game, as we just seen with Xavier Larice's kickoff return for a touchdown. Still holds true here in the second half. That still could play a big part in this game as well.
Yeah, big second half here. You know, sometimes protecting your lead could be harder than, you know, coming back from a deficit. So, you know, for Eau Gallie, they're definitely going to have to protect this lead because, you know, Titusville.
You know, I think for both of these teams, regardless of what happens here tonight, for both of these teams, has been a successful season. Obviously, both teams want to make a deeper playoff run than what they've done here tonight, but to be able to get into this position is a huge testament. You're one of the 3 teams here in Brevard County that are still standing and still playing football here in Brevard County. So a huge tip of the cap to both of these teams and then both of their seasons. Each team here has, you know, kind of had a roller coaster of a year. Titusville a little bit more of a roller coaster up and down. But Eau Gallie's had a great season, and the job that head coach Chris Sands has done with this Eau Gallie program to be able to make them a contender in their classification is a huge credit to the work that he's done in this overall Eau Gallie program. To be able to get into position like this. It hasn't been like this for Eau Gallie for, you know, in recent years. You know, last year they felt like they had a pretty good team, and then obviously that heartbreaking loss that they had last year that ended their season. They were coming back here for to try to rectify that, and then Titusville's program. You know, Titusville was the doormat of Brevard County football for a number of years, and when they hired John Holmes has done an excellent job with this program, make them a winner. And you know, a lot of these kids are learning how to win for the first time when he took over, and that's a huge credit to the culture he brought to the Terrier program and kind of turning losing ways into winning ways. And he has done a magnificent job. And you know, I just remember so many times, you know, Titusville was just not a team that, you know, had a really good brand of football for a number of years. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think before he got there, they combined for like 2 wins in 2 years.
Yeah.
So in the 3 years that Coach Holmes has been there, I mean, like you said, he just totally turned around, has a whole culture established there and everything.
And a lot of coaching turnover, too. You think about how many coaches that have come and gone at Titusville High School. It's been quite a few over the years, and it's a huge credit. And both teams now enter the field.
So 2 quarters of action left here, and the second round as halftime is getting wrapped up here. About 30 seconds left. In case you missed it, we've had obviously several players scored for the Commodores, that including Xavier Larice for what was a huge kick return to really keep their foot on the gas. And I believe it was TJ Brothers that scored the lone touchdown for the Terriers in the first half. And Maltzby had himself a nice touchdown as well. So now Tabe Welch and Xavier Larice deep for the Commodores as the Titusville Terriers line up, getting ready to kick the second half of action here.
Don't be surprised here if Titusville tries to kick away from Larice. Maybe try to boot this out of the end zone if you've got the leg for it, or maybe a pooch kick.
Yeah, anything but kicking it to number 11 if I was Titusville. So 3-possession game separating these two here as we get ready for the second half of action here, brought to you by Mike Erdman Automotive here in the second round of the FHSAA playoffs. And a bit of a squib kick. This one will be returned from about the 27. And return man finds some room outside. Looks like number 18 for the Commodores with it, and he's taken down by the Terriers.
A safe play there for the Titusville Terriers. Special teams, and they didn't want to give any chance for Eau Gallie to return that for a touchdown after returning one already here in this game. So, you know, Eau Gallie going to get decent, really good field position here at the 35-yard line. But now for this Titusville defense, see what they do here in the second half.
So 1st and 10, fresh set of downs here to get things started in the third quarter of action. Allen in the shotgun. Titusville hinting towards a blitz here. They're not. And he'll hand it off to Welch. And not much there, brings up second down. So second down coming up after the short run there by Tay Welch. Might have gained a play. Might have gained a yard on the play. Brings up second down now with 11.5 here in the third. Got a single high safety. Titusville bringing some pressure. Quick throw, incomplete.
That was very close. He would have been off to the races if he would have been able to reel that in. I think he had a step on his man.
Yeah, he did, and you know, that was a bit of a gamble play there by Pat Lusk, but it paid off. You know, the pressure coming from both sides, and pretty much no safety deep. I mean, that crosser, all he had to do was catch that ball, and like you said, he would have been off.
Makai Biggs was the intended receiver on that. A little bit closer than that, or a first down, but decision time here for Coach Chris Sands. What do you do here? You're on the 44-yard line. Do you chance giving Titusville excellent field position here? You need to get about a half a yard.
Yeah, tough call, but if you ask me, I'm punching it in here. My offense hasn't given me any reason to not trust them here, and that's exactly what Chris Sands is doing here on 4th down. Now Eau Gallie with an opportunity to try to convert here.
Okay, we're going to reset the play clock. So, not sure what happened there.
So 4th and short now. Allen in the shotgun. Pressure coming from Titusville. And the line of scrimmage wins for Eau Gallie, and that'll give them a first down. Move the chains.
Well, Titusville was in position there. There was 2 Terriers in the backfield right when that a little bit of a low snap, but great job there.
You know, what a luxury for Eau Gallie to have, you know, the 1-2 punch of Tay Welch and Emmanuel Small. For situations like that, you call in Emmanuel Small, I mean, I would say it's about a 90% chance he's going to punch that right in on the short situation. So Allen with it, screen pass to Larice. Anytime he has the ball, it is dangerous, and that's an easy first down for Eau Gallie. Xavier Larice moves the chains for the Commodores.
Nothing too fancy, just a quick little screen out to the right side and just get the ball in your playmaker's hand. And you know, Larice did a great job following his block. Getting a great gain there, and Joseph Allen's in business near the 35-yard line.
And the handoff here. He's got room and more, and he will dust everybody near him. Touchdown, Commodores. Every defender in his face, and not a single one could touch him. My goodness. Touchdown Eau Gallie. And that's Tay Welch.
Have to check the record books on that one there. Hey, Welch, another touchdown for these Commodores.
What a run there by Tay Welch. Commodores continue to keep their foot on the gas, and they extend their lead now. Score is 30-7. And that was to get the second half going. They received the ball in the second half. They get things started, and it looks like we had a block kick, but a penalty comes flying in. We'll see if this stands.
I think they're going to say this is possibly offsides, but
Looks like it's going to be against Titusville.
And it will be on Titusville. So
they're going to say this is a personal foul.
it looks like instead of going for the extra point, that penalty is having Chris Sands put his offense back out there and go for 2 to make this a potential 25-point lead.
Yeah, it'd be a 4-possession lead if you can convert this. And I don't care who you are. I mean, a 4-possession lead in high school football, that's a very tough undertaking.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot of help, and with help, I mean maybe a miracle or 2. So now Chris Sands trying to send a statement here, going for 2 with already a 23-point lead. Larice fakes the handoff to him. Allen keeps it, and no extra points here. Flag comes flying in. Could this be? Oh, we got multiple flags coming in. A little bit of a lot of extracurricular. And you got to figure we're getting close to that time.
Oh, this is getting ugly now.
Too much.
It's been very good so far in this game, but now a little bit of tempers flaring.
You know, we mentioned it before. You know, this is a very, 2 very passionate groups here, and with good reason. I mean, these guys are ball players, man. These 2 teams are very passionate, very good, and we mentioned before they know each other very well.
Well, there's a lot of laundry on the field right now, and it's the refs are all coming together right now about what exactly happened, and we're going to have multiple unsportsmanlike penalties here on this play. And now the referee is going to bring both coaches over and explain the situation.
It's probably just, you know, letting coaches know that, you know, this is a fair warning before. I mean, there's so much football left, you know, for it to already start getting chippy in the third quarter. Definitely not ideal, but nonetheless, I think, you know, they'll be cooling the situation down here in just a bit. A lot of laundry on the field, though. I mean, there's like 6 flags on the field over there.
Well, hopefully we don't have any ejections, but I didn't really see any punches thrown or anything like that, but lots of pushing and shoving, and probably a couple expletives maybe. Might have been shared. Got so much flags right there for all the referees. Make sure everybody gets their flag back amongst the referees.
So Gallie went for the 2-point conversion after originally going for the extra point, and now we've got some penalties following all that.
Got an ejection. Personal foul on Titusville, a personal foul, and unsportsmanlike penalty also on Eau Gallie. So one Titusville player did ejection. Don't know who that is. We'll have to do process of elimination, I guess, by who's not out there on the field and who's got their helmet away. But Still, a 3-possession game right now, 30-7. Eau Gallie leading the Titusville Terriers with 9:59 to go. And you know, Titusville's going to get their first possession here of this second half. It's going to be very paramount that for if you're a Titusville fan, that you get some points up on the board pretty quickly. Pooch kick. Taken up here by the Titusville Terriers at about the 25-yard line, and it gets up near the 35-yard line. Some pretty decent field position here for the Terriers.
Yeah, and Titusville now with, you know, all the extracurricular that just took place, a whole ejection. I mean, you know, that isn't the momentum or energy you're looking for. So now they're going to have to try to, you know, stay focused, which I'm sure Coach Holmes will make sure they do such. But 9:53 to go here in the third quarter, 1st and 10 with some serious ground to make up here to try to chip away at that deficit. 23 points separating these two teams. They're not fully out of it, but Titusville is going to have to start getting going here. And a handoff here, and he is stopped there. And Emmanuel Small, a name we've been calling all night long here tonight with the tackle.
I understand what you're trying to do there offensively. You're trying to establish a run game and just trying to be patient with it, but there's just nothing. They're not getting any push right up there when they run that play. And now you're behind the sticks. If you're a Terriers fan, you're probably hoping you don't see that play again at the end of this game.
So second down here. Harvey with it. Steps up nicely in the pocket. Quick pass is complete. And they'll get close to a first down. I believe he'll be just short, but that is ideal for the Terriers now with third down coming up.
Third and short for Titusville.
Well, you're probably in the territory where you're going to be going on fourth down for the rest of this game if you're Titusville. You know, so you got a little leeway here with a third down and 1. You know that you have 2 downs to try to get 1 yard. You're down 3 possessions right now.
And the handoff here is stopped. Xavier Larice, one of the first to get there on the tackle, brings up fourth down situation, and now trailing 23 points. Coach Holmes maybe opted to have to go for it here on fourth. We'll see what they do now, but tough, especially when you're facing a D-line that's got an LSU and FAU commit along with the rest of the guys. You know, tall task to try to convert on fourth and short, but Harvey and the crew are still out there, so they will go for it here on fourth. Big play here coming up. Harvey with a laser pass is incomplete.
The ball was tipped at the line too. So that basically opens the wide receiver for any early contact or anything. So when the ball is tipped, and that is where Eau Gallie will take over on downs. And it's a huge missed opportunity there for Titusville, and now it's danger of this game getting out of hand here pretty quick.
Yeah, you know, Eau Gallie with the lead they already have and the momentum on their side. This could be bad news here for Titusville. But nonetheless, 1st and 10 coming up. Tay Welch in the backfield, trips here to the bottom of your screen. And Allen looking, he's got some time in the pocket. A little too much on that one. First interception of the night for either team. And Ralph Smith comes down with it. And Allen is picked off. We've got a flag on the field. And I think that comes after the interception, so it'll likely stand.
Oh my goodness. That is That is a killer for Titusville. This is going to be on Titusville, and this is going to negate. Oh, no, the interception's going to stand. Okay, so they're going to say it was an illegal block on Titusville after the interception. I'm not, that was an illegal block all the way near midfield. That was I thought it was thrown back where the quarterback was, and I think probably just one of the Terriers got a little excited that was near the quarterback and just blocked the quarterback in the back. And so now Titusville takes over at the 30-yard line, or 20-yard line rather.
Oh, off the mark.
Intended for Stevens.
Yeah, you know, Stevens, you know, he wasn't in that game last time they played back in October in a game that was 7-3, and here he is tonight. You know, a 1,000-yard rusher, arguably the best player on this offense, and just a lot of nothing here tonight from the rushing game. So 7.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter, second down for the Terriers. Harvey looking, he's got some time. Trying to make something happen with his legs and takes the sack. Big play for loss there, and the Eau Gallie defense just continues to feast here.
Continues to feast, and it was just Tank kind of stepping up into the pocket, trying to buy a little bit more time for him to unleash down the field. He did have a couple wide receivers that did have to step on their defenders. But not enough time, not enough protection, and now brings up third down and about 15. And this is about where the territory where you're going to just probably try to throw up a prayer or try to give one of your receivers a chance on the outside. And now a penalty is not going to help matters. It's going to be a false start on the Titusville Terriers. Whack him out 5 more yards. How many plays do you have for a third down and 20?
Yeah.
That's basically a go route for.
Yeah, you know, tough outing here for Titusville. This second half hasn't gone nearly, and Harvey just throws that one up in the air as he's getting sacked. You know, sometimes you just got to take that sack because that one was nearly intercepted. Could have been a fumble, and that'll bring up fourth down now. Punting unit taking the field for Titusville. And Brandon Brown all over it. 4-star LSU commit. A name we will definitely be seeing and heard on Saturdays.
Well, Titusville not able to take advantage of the interception, but you hope that Dean Roberts, who's got a great leg, can try to change the field position here for the Terriers, maybe with a booming punt. Got to be wary of if Eau Gallie tries to come for this, though. You need to make sure your protection is on.
Incredible punt. I mean, wow. Absolutely booted that one away. Xavier Reese, the return man, makes a man miss. He's taken down. And he stopped at about the 47-yard line. 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
That was about a 50-yard punt.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a very nice punt.
Still a net punt of about 38 yards. So very nice punt. Of course, one of the caveats to having a booming punt is you punt outside your coverage, so it kind of opens you up for a good return. And that was a good return there for Eau Gallie after receiving the punt on the other side of the 50. They are already in Titusville territory at the 43.
So a fresh set of downs now following the punt. The return by Reese has them starting this drive at about the 47-yard line. Allen in the shotgun. Hands it off to Welch. And that Titusville defense all over it. Brings them down. Second coming up.
Need a stop here. Need a stop for Titusville. And Eau Gallie could really put the clamps on this game with a touchdown.
Yeah, a touchdown here. I believe that'll start the running clock. So a score here will definitely help them get out of here sooner, preserve their players.
Up the middle, Tay Welch. Second will be the 3rd and 6 for the Commodores.
So 3rd and 6 coming up for Eau Gallie. So 3rd and 6 now for Eau Gallie. 4:46 to go in the 3rd quarter. Shotgun look here. Allen hands it off. Running back finds some room on the right side. And that's Emmanuel Small. He's taken down hard. Number 33 for Titusville on the tackle. And that'll bring up 4th and short now for Eau Gallie. And decision time. We've seen them go for it on 4th down numerous occasions here tonight. And with the way it looks like they will be going for it here. With 4 minutes to go, clock continues to tick here. And if Eau Gallie is able to put up another touchdown, that running clock will get initiated. So you got to figure they're going to try to look to keep their foot on the gas here. So now 4th and short, Eau Gallie going for it.
Eau Gallie just wanting to milk that clock a little bit. Chris Sands is going to talk with his team about that. Just was trying to take the play clock all the way down and going to maybe rethink this on a play call. Still think he's going to go for it. You're kind of in no man's land right now. It's too long for a field goal at this point, and that 3 points doesn't really do you anything. I mean, it would extend it to a 26-point lead. Would be a four possession lead still, but you know, do you want to kick a 52-yard field goal in this situation and have a risk of it being blocked? Don't think that's the case, and you're kind of too close for a punt. Unless you tried to do a card count or try to maybe catch Titusville on an offsides, that would give you a new set of downs, because it's only 4th down and about 2.
So 4th and short now. Eau Gallie going for it. 3.5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Allen in the shotgun. Pair of receivers on each side. And they hand it off. And he'll get the first down and more. He's taking this one to the crib. Touchdown, Commodores. Emmanuel Small once again. I mean, my goodness, he has just been non-stop. Just when they need a few yards, he'll take it to the house, making this a 36-7 lead. And that'll initiate that running clock. So right at the 3.5-minute mark, Eau Gallie will attempt the extra point here. Chase Karpowicz, the kicker. Allen, the holder. And the extra point is good, giving Eau Gallie a 30-point lead here in the 2nd round of the playoffs.
Big answer there for the Eau Gallie Commodores, and now it's looking very, very, very good for, if you're a Commodore fan, to move on to the next round and move on to the regional final. And what a performance here today for Eau Gallie. You think about this game that, you know, we've made mention to it earlier this year. No offensive touchdown scored in this game earlier this year. We've had a lot here tonight, and kind of a tale of two games.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, this is complete opposite of what we saw between these two teams back in October, where the final score was snap field.
Yeah.
Getting another victim.
It's a rough field right now, and you know the footing for both teams is, frankly, you know, it's caused some issues, but especially Titusville here tonight. There's multiple instances where they've just been slipping, and Eau Gallie obviously was a little bit more prepared for the field conditions. Being their home field, they probably should know, and but nonetheless, what a job here tonight by Eau Gallie, offensively and defensively thus far. Just showing a very dominating performance in all areas, special teams, offense, and defense. Titusville has not been able to get the run game going at all.
And Harvey will keep it himself, taken down by Eau Gallie. An incredible final broadcast here, and thanks to Tom Palermo, Giles, Zach, and everyone else for the past 5 years. It's been incredible here, and I can't thank you guys enough.
Incomplete pass there. Yeah, Juan, we're going to definitely miss you. Yeah, Space Coast Daily, you know, you mentioned it. 5 years. It's been, where's the time gone? It went by very fast, and you know, we obviously appreciate everything you did for Space Coast Daily in those 5 years, and you know, you're on to great things going forward, and be excited to watch you in your career, and you know, we always appreciate the hard work that you put into to this, and you've been a great representation of Space Coast Daily. Quick pass over the middle, and now it brings up a 4th down here for Titusville. I think Sean Holmes probably going to go for this. But I got to ask you, what is your favorite moment, favorite event or anything that you've done here at Space Coast Daily in 5 years?
Yeah, a lot stand out. You know, for the hyper-local, when it comes to Brevard, definitely that trip to South Florida to cover the 2 state championships, where Meridon and Cocoa both went down there back-to-back. You know, days of state championship football. That was really cool a few years ago. And then, you know, catching that FSU-LSU game that we got to cover last year, Jaden Daniels and all them, that was definitely super cool.
Nice pitch and catch there from Harvey to Stevens. Gets a 1st down. Yeah, that was a very exciting time, and you know, both of those teams, I think of Meridon and Cocoa that year. That was balls on the turf. Tank Harvey's going to have to run for his life and get the ball away. He does, and that Terrier slips again.
Yeah, you know, there's been and you know, you see so many times where Harvey's able to make plays with his arms, and you got to wonder, you know, maybe if they would have stuck to some more passing plays earlier, could it have been a different game? But then again, you know, Coach Holmes and the Titusville Terriers, I assume, are going with what the defense gives them, and Eau Gallie's defense isn't giving them much.
No, not a whole lot. Brings up 2nd down and 5. That was TJ Brothers, who was the receiver. Quick pass over to Stevens. Stevens dances around, gets out to the outside, has got room, and what a great move. Wow. Still on his feet.
Oh my God.
He is so difficult to bring down. Gets a 1st down. What an effort there for the Terriers and Stevens to be able to keep that play alive. And one thing about this Terriers team and head coach John Holmes, they're going to play till the final whistle.
Yeah. No, we're seeing that here tonight, and what effort there by Stevens on that run. Harvey looking. He's signaling a receiver. And the receiver comes up with it. That's Stevens. What a big play there. And that'll move the chains for Titusville.
Wow. That was just how you drew it up.
Yeah, right? And the Terriers putting together a little drive here. 13 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, still got another quarter to go. You know, Titusville's able to maybe get a touchdown here. Cut this to a 3-possession.
And Harvey dancing around. And he's able to evade the pressure nicely there.
Big gain on that, 8 yards on the play.
And Harvey might have hurt himself when he was running out of bounds on the track, as he is limping and he's signaling for some help to come get him.
Oh, man.
And that is just really tough.
Oh,
no, man.
That's not good.
Your Commodores up.
Ah.
37-2.
You know, he's been playing one heck of a game. I mean, leaving it all out there for his team. The young sophomore, I mean, he's got such a future ahead of him.
Yeah.
Definitely hope for the best here, but, you know, he's been taking some punishment here tonight. A lot of pressure. I mean, when you talk about a 4-star and a 3-star coming at you all night.
He's tough. You know, that's one thing about call him a tank for no reason. Tank Harvey, he's a tough kid. And he's got a bright future ahead of him, as you just mentioned. He's got a couple more years, and big part, one of the biggest parts of this Titusville team, key contributor to how this Titusville team is operating offensively and defensively. And obviously, you know, he had a big game against Merritt Island, got the game-tying touchdown in overtime, and then also got the game-winning interception in overtime. And he's just a great all-around athlete, and going to be anticipate he's going to be playing on Saturdays when his high school career is over with, definitely. But for tonight, you know, just hasn't had much of an answer for this Eau Gallie defense tonight. And so now that brings in the backup situation at quarterback, which it looks like it's going to be, is that TJ Brothers in the backfield? Yeah, Quay Sanders. Quay Sanders is the quarterback, the freshman. Going to get some experience, valuable experience here after the injury to Tank Harvey. It brings up a 3rd down.
Yeah, well, hopefully Eau Gallie doesn't have to play many more home games on this field, because, I mean, it's a pretty decent factor. I mean, the amount of slips we've seen here tonight from both sides, I mean, pretty significant. You mentioned it earlier, you know, the soccer team is using this field. This field's been used all season long for football, so the wear and tear is here, and it's on full display, so definitely tough. But if Eau Gallie comes out with this win here tonight, they will remain undefeated at home, as Titusville throws an interception. Quay Sanders comes in for the injured Harvey and throws an interception on his second play. And it was a bit of a toss. There wasn't much for him. He was kind of wrapped up. And number 4, A.J. Forehand for the Commodores comes up with a huge pick there. And now with 10:59 to go, Eau Gallie can control the rest of this clock for the most part.
A.J. Forehand, one of the better corners in DBs in Central Florida, comes up with one.
Well, now Eau Gallie can try to burn some clock here with 10:59 to go. This game is well in hand for Eau Gallie on that was number one, Latavius Welch, who's had one heck of a game here tonight. And go for Joseph Allen. He has done a great job at just commanding this offense and putting them in the right situations and taking care of the ball for the most part, with the exception of the one pick that he threw in the third quarter.
Well, with Eau Gallie likely coming out with this victory here tonight, leading by 30, they'll play the winner. And we got a big gain here. Flag comes flying in. First down, Eau Gallie. But we'll see if it stands. We got a flag on the play, and it looks like some of the offensive players for Eau Gallie are staying put, as this one might be coming back.
Wow. Personal foul, chop block on Eau Gallie. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. That's a spot foul, so that'll negate the great gain there by Latavius Welch and still redo the down, but from a spot foul, that's going to be about second down and 23 coming up here for the Commodores.
So in a game where we thought we'd see a close matchup, maybe a defensive battle like what we saw earlier this year, turns out to be a 30-point difference.
Yeah.
But now Eau Gallie with second and a mile to go. And they will hand it off. Running back will look for an opening off to the left side, and he makes something out of nothing. Get about 5 on the play, but they still have got decent ways to go to try to convert that first down. 9.5 to go here in the game. What a remarkable season, though, for Eau Gallie and Titusville. I mean, Titusville, a second-round trip to the playoffs, 7-4 overall record thus far. And then you talk about Eau Gallie, 10-1 right now. If they're able to come out with this win, they'll be 11-1, undefeated at home still, and they'll be looking to see who wins that Denellen-Bishop Moore game for the third round.
Good tackle there by Titusville. Brings up a fourth down. Looked like he would have had a little bit more room if he had eluded that first tackler. He would have had some room to be able to get some more yards, but now brings up fourth down. Punting unit comes out here for Eau Gallie. Back to receive for the Titusville Terriers is Alex Christian.
And Reese with a serious punt. And it is muffed. Ball on the ground. Eau Gallie signaling they got it, and I think they did. My goodness, 8 minutes to go. Eau Gallie gets the ball back on a muffed punt, and they can pretty much run down the rest of this clock if they manage it properly. And what a huge come up there. Nice punt there by Reese.
Caden Davis recovers the fumble. And Alex Christian just kind of misjudged that. Don't know if maybe the lights maybe got in the way of trying to receive that. Looked like he was having a hard time seeing that. But nonetheless, going to be a turnover on Titusville. Which will be their third turnover of the game. Allen drops back to pass across the middle of the field, and he's got his wide receiver across the middle, and incomplete pass.
There's a little bit of contact there, but not enough for the PI. Nice look there for Allen, just couldn't get it to connect.
Surprised that they're still trying to throw the ball with 8:04 to go, up 30 points.
There was a lot of talking before this game.
Yeah.
From both teams, so you know, these little jabs that seeing from Eau Gallie, I would say I'm surprised, but this was a very passionate game to say the least following up. So now 2nd down. Allen with it. And he takes a shot, nearly intercepted by number 2 of the Terriers. He was looking for Reese. Just off the target, 3rd down.
Well, I mean, you're up 30 points right now, but back-to-back passes.
Yeah, I'm just not too sure. I mean, the running clock is initiated. Why are you not running the ball and taking at least 3 minutes off here? I mean,
3rd down and 10 coming up here for the Eau Gallie Commodores. After the turnover by the Titusville Terriers on the punt. Allen, deep pass across the middle of the field, and he's got his man. He's got it for a touchdown. What a pitch and catch there. That's DJ Molsby, his 2nd touchdown reception of this game. What a nice pitch and catch there for the Eau Gallie Commodores. Just a one-on-one matchup and just beat his man and went up and made a play on the ball. Perfectly placed throw, though, for Joseph Allen. That was great. Great throw by him. Be able to give Molsby a chance at that. And just a little jump ball action and one-on-one and mano-a-mano. And Commodores come up on the winning end on that one and extend the lead now to 43-7 pending the extra point. Now the running clock is administered. And a very low kick. And it is good. Now the Eau Gallie Commodores leading 44-7 here in this regional semifinal. We'll move on to the regional final. And I think you made mention to it earlier. It's the Bishop Moore and Dunellen.
Yep, the winner of that. Yep. So we'll try to get you that score here, but nonetheless, what a season here thus far for Eau Gallie. They are not done. They get to advance, as Zach mentioned, and once this game concludes, they'll be 11-1, still undefeated at home. They are the #1 seed here, so we'll see where they play this next matchup here after we find out the winner of Dunellen and Bishop Moore. And it looks like it'll more than likely be Bishop Moore. They lead 31-15 over Dunellen. So if everything remains to plan here, the way things look right now, it looks like the next matchup will be Eau Gallie versus Bishop Moore. And we got a flag as that kickoff will go out of bounds.
And Eau Gallie would be the home team on that one.
Yeah, because they're the higher seed. So,
yeah.
You know, they just continue to have the advantage here. And, you know, after here, you just got to win 3 straight and you're a state champion. So just 1 week at a time. And if they advance next week, they'll make it to that Final Four game, which would be huge.
Yeah.
6.5 minutes to go here.
State championships in South Florida this year. And at Florida Atlantic Stadium, Florida Atlantic University, that's the first time it's been in Miami, in South Florida, and I think that's the first time in 2005, I think, was the last year that the state championships were held in. But still got some more time here before we start getting into state championship talk. Still got a couple more games to be able to reach that point. But Eau Gallie looking very dominant out here today. And I think we checked on the Coco score too. I think Coco's in a commanding lead right now, right, 2-1?
Yeah, Coco looks like they're going to go ahead and advance.
Two Brevard County teams will be in the regional final next week, and both will have home games.
And a big hit by Roberts. Josh Roberts, the FAU commit, speaking of FAU, comes up with a huge hit. My goodness, you feel that one from up here.
So with second down and about 15 to go here, we got Stevens in at quarterback now. Not sure what his level is from an arm perspective, but he is really good at making people miss just like that. But there's too many Commodores in the backfield right now to be able to elude. And might be just trying to protect the young freshman, Quay Sanders. We have not seen him. It's 4:40 to go here. Still a remarkable season here for the Titusville Terriers, but it's going to be, the story's going to be Eau Gallie and their performance here tonight and how they're looking. They're looking very strong right now. As Stevens is on the run, is going to have to throw and goes over to his wide receiver for about an 8-yard gain, and it'll bring up fourth down now. And I got to think that maybe the punting unit now is going to come out here for Titusville. Well, they, if depending on what Eau Gallie does on this next possession, they might kneel it, but they were just throwing it a little while ago, so they might be able to try to get some more points up on the board. But what a performance here for Eau Gallie, and then the job that they'll do to move on to the regional final, looking like a team that is poised for a deep playoff run and a fake. And a quick pass over here to Kamari. That is Kamari Jackson. And a fake is, well, we mentioned that a fake and special teams could play a factor in this game. Unfortunately, it's with about 3.5 minutes down 37 points, but successful execution there on the trick play there. And John Holmes is not waving the white flag just yet.
Yeah.
They're going to fight, and you know, with any John Holmes team, they're going to do that.
So yeah, with about 2.5 minutes to go, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight, as these final 2 minutes will go by pretty quick. I'd like to thank all our sponsors, of course, as always, Mike Erdman Automotive, Health First, Eastern Florida State College, and All Points for everything they do. And congratulations to the Commodores for advancing to the next round. And congrats to the Terriers for what has been a great season under third-year head coach John Holmes, regardless of the fact the second round trip to the playoffs is a victory of a season. So a lot to build on. Make sure to stay tuned to Space Coast Daily for all your post-game coverage here. Of course, we will have a scoreboard post with all the scores from around the county. Of course, there was only one other game, and that is Cocoa, which they look like have won that game. And we'll have all the matchups listed for you guys, so make sure to stay tuned for all of that.
And Stevens drops back to pass and going to be sacked. Here with 1 minute to go, we're just getting ready to wrap up this game, and congratulations to the Eau Gallie Commodores advancing to the next round of the playoffs, and still a tip of the cap to the Titusville Terriers, and a great successful season to be able to get to this point, and the job that head coach John Holmes has done with this Titusville program, making the playoffs back-to-back years, is a huge testament to the hard work that he has done, and his staff and these players. Quick deep pass across the middle of the field, and it is almost going to be intercepted, but it's going to be incomplete. Clock is going to continue to run with a running clock. That might be the final play of this game. Huge thanks to Gavin. Great job on the production side, Gavin. And I want to make sure we also thank Juan Rodriguez, and announcing he'll be leaving us on December 1st. And we really greatly appreciate the hard work that he did in his 5 years with Space Coast Daily. And tonight, the Eau Gallie Commodores are victorious. 44 points for the Eau Gallie Commodores as they defeat the Titusville Terriers 44-7 and advance to the next round, and what'll be a home playoff game next week, looking like it'll be against Bishop Moore at this moment. The last reported score we had was Bishop Moore was leading by a comfortable margin. So thank you to all our sponsors, Urban Automotive, Eastern Florida State College, All Points, Health First, for all their great support here for local high school sports here on Space Coast Daily TV. We thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast, and stay tuned for post-game coverage of this game as we get a quick word with the coach. And we want to make sure we thank everybody at Space Coast Daily and everybody that has an involvement in this broadcast. Tom Palermo, Giles Malone, Gavin Keith, Juan Rodriguez,